close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And
you're my heartbeat, my silent drum, that is kicking me till I'm numb. I wanna feel the love that James Brown did when he got standing ovations on his gig. I wanna feel free like a bird in the sky when he opened his wings to fly on by to the beat of my silent drum, that is kicking me till I'm numb. You're my heartbeat, my silent drum that's kicking me till I'm numb. I wanna feel the love that James Brown did when he got standing ovations on his gig. I wanna feel free like a bird in the sky when he opened his wings and fly on by to the beat of my silent drum that is kicking me till I'm numb. Oh. You're my heartbeat, my silent drum that's kicking me till I'm numb. I wanna feel the love that James Brown did when he got standing ovations on his gig. I wanna feel free like a bird in the sky when he opened his wings to fly on by to the beat of the silent drum that's kicking me till I'm numb.
Hey everyone. Hello. Hello. I hope I made someone jump because it's my lifelong joy is to terrify people. So hello everyone. Hello. Hello. Let me see who we have. Let me see who we have. Okay. We got we got here. Who do we got here? Who do we got here? We got darn it, Tiago. Well, I tried Tiago, okay? I was trying to frighten you, especially Tiago. Doug on the left. Hey, Doug on the left. First one in here. Hello, Doug on the left. Resident Union Thug. Back in the stream, Resident Union Thug. Great to see you. Uh uh Anga, yes. Hello, Anga. Welcome back, Anga. I don't know if you ever left. Well, maybe for like a day or two, I didn't see your name, but maybe you were listening. Anyway, Louise, hello, Louise. Louise. Let's see here. Who else we got here? Demosthenes, EQR Demosthenes is here. Um, uh, okay. Alec Risser. Hello, Alec Risser. Guten Tag zusammen. I feel like it's only suiting to greet people in German as in American, considering what's going on here. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 Alex. I'm Alec. I guess you could also use Italian. That would also work. Okay, maybe some Japanese. Any of those. Thank you, Louise. Thank you. I'm glad you like the music. Luke is here. Hello, Luke. Hello, 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 Luke. Um, Bitta, Alec. Bitta. Lee Lane. Hello, Lee Lane. Toya, Toya, Toya. Hey. Uh, all right. Who am I missing here? Who am I missing? Who we got? Am I missing anyone? I think I'm missing some people here. I'm sure. Alyssa. Hello, Alyssa. All these classics here. All these classics. Um. Uh. Okay, okay. Andrew, welcome, Andrew. Andrew, welcome, Andrew Whitaker. Hello, hello. Have you been in here before, Andrew? Just curious. I know some people just watch; they don't go into the chat. I'm just curious if you've been here before. Hello, Andrew. Um, Druzilla, hello, Druzilla. Uh, all right. Who am I missing here? I feel like I'm Mithril, hello, Mithril. Alan just got here. Big Braden, hello. It's just a little bit of a fascist moment, nothing. Gotcha. Okay, Andrew, fantastic. Glad to see you here in the live stream. Okay, Dolly Boy's here. Hello, Dolly Boy. Have I missed anyone? I don't think I've missed anyone. Maybe I have. How dare you, Alyssa? How dare you? Okay. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about today. A lot going on. If I don't know if you heard the news this morning. You heard the news this morning about the shooting that occurred outside of the ICE office or something like that. Laws is here. Hello, Laws. Okay. Well, Alec, I actually speak German, so well, I know maybe I didn't pronounce it in the German way, so I can read it a little bit here. Okay, so folks, we got a lot to do. The first things first, as you all know, we have a 5 super chat goal. If we get to 1 super chat, I put on the jester hat. That also includes if you want to send me a buy me a coffee. We also if we get 3 super chats, I'll put on the collar. Thank you, Anga, the ice field office, okay? And if we get 5, I'll put on the jester makeup, okay? Um, gut, Alec, gut, okay? And Uh, and at the top of the chat, I pinned something. I highly recommend here. I highly recommend everyone here join our Discord server because we have almost 120 people on there now. If you go there, you can actually recommend things for me to react to, which I'll be doing some of today. You can also I have a resources page there and a reforms page is there, so you can see what reforms we're at. I'm advocating for at least, and our resources so you can get like books and stuff that kind of talk about the things I talk about in stream. Um, and if for those that are over on Twitch, you can if you subscribe, you can do so with an Amazon Prime subscription for free, or you can subscribe for $5 a month, and then you will get no more ads. Okay, and here on YouTube, uh you can send me a coffee, which would count towards the super chat. I recommend you join our Discord. What else? What else do I want to say? Oh, yes. And if you want to become a member for as little as 99 cents a month, you can become a member and you'll get that cute little jester hat next to your name. Okay. All right. So we got stuff to talk about. Uh, Thank you, Alyssa. Okay. Well, we got the first super chat. Thank you, Alyssa. So the jester hat is coming on. We're actually going to be watching a video today that was provided by Robert about the history of jesters, which I'm looking forward to. I know we didn't get raptured, Alyssa. I'm so sorry. I should have started the stream with another little prayer, shouldn't I have? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Alyssa. 2 more folks, and I put on the collar. Okay. So first, I'm going to do a little conversation, then we'll talk about that shooting. Okay. We're still getting updates about it. If anyone, I know a lot of you are very good at multitasking. Uh, if any of you, hello, Drusilla. If any of you see that they go live for a press conference regarding that shooting, please let me know. Um, uh, because I'll be doing this, I won't really know when they go live, but I would like to know when the press conference goes live. Okay. Okay, guys. So, let's continue. So first we're going to talk about, yeah, oh, for sure, Luke. Uh, how are you since? Oh, hello. Thank you for the super chat, Resident Union Thug. Resident Union Thug says, "How are you since being fired for spitting facts?" Well, I'm doing okay, Resident Union Thug. I've been doing this full time, and I've been greatly enjoying it. I've been preferring it to teaching. I do miss my students a lot. I'm hoping to be able to do this full time as the channel grows and stuff. I hope that I'll be able to continue doing it full time. Um, Thank you, Tiago. Oh, I'm sorry you're sick, Tiago. I'm so sorry you're sick. I'm sick. Drink tea for me. Also, I'm extra sassy. That is true. Tiago is extra sassy. Okay, so Tiago just got us to the second goal. Well, look, this is going too fast. I haven't even been able to start yet. Okay, so I'll put on the Jester collar. Perfect. Perfect. All right, guys. Okay. Yeah, Luke. Yeah. So thank you for that question, though, Resident Union Thug. I'm doing okay. Let's put it that way. Okay. Um. Okay. So let me talk to you about something, folks, and it's very relevant to things happening in this country. Okay. So what we're gonna do, especially for the folks that are over on Discord, and elsewhere, who know sort of the things we've been talking about and advocating for here. I want to talk briefly today about revolutionary demands and reforms. Okay. um, and and how they're necessary for implementing change. And I know there's been a lot of questions in chat all over the place, about how we about what can we do to resist. Okay, and we've talked a lot about it, but so let me just tell you about something else. Okay, so revolutionary demands and reforms necessary for implementing change. Okay, so let me explain this. All right, so. Uh, Resistance movements in the past, okay? Resistance movements in the past. Hello, SoCal, okay? Makes an entitled grand entrance. Thank you, SoCal, okay? Very, very gay of you. I say as a gay man. Anyway, okay, okay. Um, Luke, I had something similar when I was in the fisheries and aquaculture program. I stood up for a girl with a speech impediment, and the school said I misunderstood everything and basically pushed me. Oh my God, Luke. Well, you're a hero in my eyes for doing that. Okay. All right. So, I get it, Luke. I do. Okay. By the way, folks, I just ordered a keffiyeh, like a Palestinian keffiyeh. I'm going to be hopefully wearing it on stream sometimes. But anyway, okay. So, okay, no problem, Fox Emblem. Good luck at work, etc. Whatever it is you may be doing out there. So, guys, uh, why so some of the reasons why protest or resistance movements fail, okay? We know it historically, all right? Is one government repression, okay? Now, uh government repression. Um government repression is governments can use overwhelming force, arrests and legal restrictions to crush movements. That is limited though. Um uh Hey, welcome, Mello. Welcome, Mello. Welcome to the chat here. Okay. So and Mello, yeah. So we're kind of an open teaching classroom here. So yeah, feel free make comments like everyone else does. Whatever the case may be. Same with you, Alec, if you're still here. We do open sort of classrooms and then reactions every day, for almost every day. Okay. Hello, Kimberly. Welcome back, Kimberly. So okay. So government repression can oftentimes crush protest and resistance movement, but this is limited in its effectiveness because you can only crush so much. You can only crush so many resistance movements if, like, the whole country is rising up. What you can't crush everyone at the same time. Okay, so that can stop a resistance movement, but only in limited ways. The one we're mainly going to be talking about today is when you have a lack of unified goals. Okay, a lack of unified goals. So within a resistance movement, internal conflicts, disparate ideologies, and a lack of clear demands can prevent a movement from maintaining cohesion and momentum. This is why I'm always on our Discord community, the Jester's Court, which you can find pinned to the top of the chat there. Please join our Discord. I have a list of possible reforms. Okay, exactly, Alyssa. All the lefty infighting will end can break a if they can break the if they're too much infighting. Yes, a weird amorphous blob. It's limited if there's wide enough popular base for a thing to be for the thing being repressed. Like if it can be carried through the revolutionary struggle, but otherwise repression has a good chance of working. You're 100% right. Weird amorphous blob. If there's enough popular support and enough people participating in the resistance, government repression can't work. Which is why we need more people on board, okay? Because at this point, government repression may still be able to work, okay? Um, okay. Yeah, absolutely, Alyssa. Do you think this is why Trump admin's big strategy is flooding us with shit so we can't think straight on what is? Yep. That's why I've said before, folks, that it's kind of a sign that the Trump regime is weak. They use almost a terror tactic here to make people afraid to resist. Okay, uh, and if they were a strong government, they'd be able to just crush everything all at once. And if maybe they may be moving towards that, but at the moment they're still a bit weak. Okay. Some other things that may cause a resistance movement to fail. Okay. Organizational and strategic failings. This is why I always say for resistance movements to be successful, especially revolutionary resistance movements, you need parallel government structures. So, a movement's inability to organize effectively, build alliances, or transition from protest to sustained political action can lead to its decline. Um, Zach, welcome, Zach. Um, Zach, I don't know. That's a fair question, though. Uh, Zach says nobody actually believes anti-ice was written on the bullets in the rain in pen, right? Zach, so I don't know. It's possible it was, but I obviously we don't have enough evidence right now. Okay. Um, you're right, Big Braden. I agree with you. Okay, so we need the other thing that may cause maybe another thing that may cause the failure of a protest or resistance movement is a loss of public interest, okay? Where you need to sustain public engagement over time, and it's difficult, and movements can fade if they don't see immediate results. Um, so, okay, media misrepresentation can cause a protest movement to fail, where biased or negative media coverage can delegitimize movements and erode public support. And lastly, co-option, okay, where powerful interests absorb a movement's message in a way that dilutes its core goals, rendering it less effective. We all have seen some of these things taking place, okay? That being said, all of these things are limited in their ability to contain a resistance, revolutionary, or protest movement if there's just overwhelming support for it, okay? But mainly what we're going to talk about today is a lack of unified goals and organizational and strategic failings. Um, okay. So, um, okay, Zach, yes, Zach, you're right. So decentralized movements are much harder to stop. That being said, Zach, you also need some amount of coordination. Historically, decentralized movements can fail unless they are within their decentralized structure coordinating demands, if that makes sense. And I'll explain what I mean here in a second. So, okay. So here are some movements that have now, this is an oversimplification, right? That being said, I'm kind of oversimplifying here. Some past movements that have largely failed to meet their goals because of a lack of clear and unified demands. All right. Number one, the French Revolution. London's here. Hello, London. So the French Revolution, there were a bunch of demands, but then all these different subgroups started demanding different things, and it made it really possible for anyone to pin down Matt Saigai. Hey, Matt Saigai. It made it really possible for anyone to pin down what exactly the revolutionaries wanted. It turned into infighting, and eventually it ended up in a dictatorship. Because um, right, Alyssa, yeah. So um, Resident Union Thug, absolutely. We need to help fix the labor movement. Okay, Alyssa, what do you think of the No Kings protest? They seem organized for the most part. Not sure what the actual demand is, though. Right, Alyssa. So I love the No Kings protest. You notice I have a No Kings protest shirt. I've gone to the No Kings protest before. Alas, they need to make a clear demand. I don't think they have a clear demand. They need more specific and clear demands. That it's still good. Um, Yeah, Zach, you're right. Okay, and this is why it's very complicated, Zach. But you're totally right. So Zach, we can have a decentralized movement that does not that coordinates its demands. Okay, like you can have a bunch of decentralized groups that all demand the same thing, which would be fine too. So it doesn't have to be centralized. Alec, that's amazing, Alec. You're my hero. Okay, going to that protest. Um, okay, Tiago, Black Lives Matter could be an example of an organization without defined goals. Correct, Tiago. That's why it's up here. Okay, so yeah, exactly, Alyssa. So here we have the French Revolution kind of broke into infighting. Um, uh, oh, yeah, okay. I get it, weird amorphous blob. Okay, so that's okay, Tiago. So the Arab Spring also had some issues with clear demands. It was a lot of this is not me criticizing these movements, by the way. I'm simply trying to help us learn from where other movements have failed, okay? The Arab Spring did not really have the clearest demands. They also didn't have parallel government institutions, which resulted in dictatorship in a lot of places that couldn't challenge people in power and too many different demands of things like that. Occupy Wall Street. Who here remembers Occupy Wall Street? If you don't, it is probably because it was largely suppressed by the media, though it was a massive movement that took place in 2011, where people went to New York City, especially left wing people, and were massively protesting against the greed of the wealthy and wealth inequality and things like that. And it was very successful in getting attention at the time, but then uh, but then they kind of broke into all these factions and there were no clear demands being laid out, which then just allowed the government to put it down, amongst other things. Okay. So London, you haven't heard about it. So look it up, London. It's a very important, um, okay. It's very important um, to know about it for lefties. So if any lefty in here doesn't know about it, I highly recommend, um, yeah, you absolutely right, Dolly boy. At the beginning, they did. Um, uh, so yeah, okay. So what else do we got here? Hey, Matt Sci guy. Oh, I'm sorry, Alan. I don't think the progressive left is unified or united enough in general, to be honest. Polling came out today showing that over 50% of Americans lost faith in democracy. I feel like the left should be doing more right now. I agree, totally agree, Alan, which is partially why we're doing this, because I want people to know uh I exactly, London. This is kind of what I'm trying to say here. The left right now, even liberals who are on resistance side of things are not unified, not making unified demands. Okay? Some people might need to make sacrifices about their demands. You all know out there that I identify as a socialist. I am perfectly willing to give up on some of my socialist demands, right? If it means focusing on things that we can unite around to make change. And some of us might have to do that initially. Okay. Just something to think about. Um, fair, Alan. Yeah, it's exactly. Progressives are united, are not united. Okay. Agreed, London. Agreed. Okay. So there's a lot of great messages here. Okay. Alyssa, don't you worry, Alyssa. I will get to it. Okay. So Black Lives Matter also had a similar issue. Okay. Yeah, that's great, Mello. Oh, yeah. I'm glad to hear you. Yeah, it's always that's okay though, Mello. Like, it's okay not to know everything. Okay. I know Tiago, and that's an ongoing problem with the hardcore folks. Okay, so the Black Lives Matter also had a similar issue. There weren't really any set demands being made in a lot of circumstances, um, which caused a lot of issues. Thank you, Matt Sci Guy, for the super chat there. If we get one more, folks, I will put on the jester makeup. Um, oh, you guys, you can't see the Twitch ones? That's weird. Guys, sorry, I'm getting so many messages here. I'm having trouble keeping track. My apologies here. Hello, AMA Gaming. Okay, so um, oh right, Mithril. I know a resident anarchist in here, but hey, Mithril, you know I would too. Us lefties would have to give up. Might have to give up some things. Can you guys can't see the you want me to make it bigger so you can see it more? Um, you guys having trouble? Um, yeah. Okay. So I'm You can see them vexed? Okay, excellent. You can see it fine. Okay, that's okay. We'll stop. I'll just stop. Okay, so these movements sort of failed to do two things. One, form parallel government institutions. And I get it, SoCal Foodie. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about that right now. Yeah, that's a good point, London. We'll do that. We'll make a panel specifically for chat so that you guys can see it better. My apologies there. I'll fix it in the future. Sorry you guys can't see, and I'll read them out loud when I say them. Okay. Okay. So all these movements failed to come up with unified demands and failed to establish parallel governing structures. Okay, which made it harder for those movements to succeed. Okay, so let's continue. In order to demand and implement change, we need to be clear and specific, about our demands. Correct, Michael Global, 100%. Okay. We need to be specific about our demands. Uh, we can't be overly general here. Okay. We have to be pretty specific. So, uh, and again, we also need this to be unified demands across a wide range of organizations. Um, okay, Meowzord, hey Meowzord, welcome. Okay, um, so Meowzord, there are demands being made of you, specific organized demands, Meowzord. Okay, so let's go on now. Here, now, folks, I just put up a list. So we're going to go through a list of possible demands, and I am not saying that we have to do exactly, Mithril. Eat the rich is not a demand. It needs to be much more specific than that. Because you can imagine if demand is too general, what's going to happen is everyone's going to interpret it in the worst possible way. They're going to imagine guillotine in the streets. Okay, which I mean, I wouldn't mind necessarily, but you get the point. Okay, so right, Luke. So here's one demand that could be made. All right. I'm going to give you a whole list of demands. A lot of these are on our Discord page, which I update regularly. I recommend if anyone wants to go to our Discord page, it's pinned at the top of the chat on YouTube. Okay. Um, okay. Alan, remind me to talk about that later, Alan. That's a good question. Okay. So here's one possible demand that we could make immediate new elections and the resignation of the entire Trump regime. Again, these demands are not perfect. We might need to kind of moderate them a bit. All right. But these are sort of general outlines of some things we could demand. Um, okay. Zach, I think we also need to use the right verbiage when we make our demands. For example, Zoran Mamdani does a very good job at not outright saying defund the police. 100%. Yeah, you're right, Zach. And like, we can keep some of the demands to ourselves, if you know what I mean, like not focus on them. This is also an issue of priorities. Which of these demands, folks, do we think are the most important at the moment? Um, okay. Yeah, there you go, SoCal. Eat the rich, the mystery meat for the elite. Exactly. Oz. Hi, everyone. Don't forget to like the video. Yes, thank you, folks. Please like the video. And if you're on Twitch, you can follow or subscribe. Okay. All right. Okay. Abolish the Electoral College. Alec, I love that. We shouldn't eat the rich for one simple reason. You shouldn't eat things that are rotten to the core. 100%, Alan. 100%. Okay. So this is a simple one. This would not be the only demands we would need, but this would be an important one. Abolish the Electoral College. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Toy. So we have to sort of. Oh, Kimberly, don't you wait? We're getting there. Okay, so abolish the Electoral College. Thank you for whoever just followed. Thank you, ZP Gaming. Add a constitutional amendment clarifying that money does not equal speech. We need to get money out of politics, folks. I think we all know this if you've watched for a while. We need money out of politics. All of our politicians are corrupt. Almost all of them. Not all of them. There's some progressives that are not bribed. But the Democratic Party mainstream is corrupt. The Republican Party is corrupt. A lot of corruption going on. The oligarchs control a lot. End Citizens United, correct, Mithril. So that might be one demand. We can frame it different ways, but we need money out of politics. We need to be a democracy again, okay? Make America a democracy again, okay? Right now it's an oligarchy. Yeah, honestly, abolish APAC, or at the very least, make it register as um, a foreign lobby, at the very least, okay? But definitely also get foreign money out of our elections, okay? So there's one, okay? Another possible one here. Reform or abolish the Senate. This one is a bit more radical. I acknowledge it. Um, but the Senate, folks, is a kind of archaic institution. Um, oh, do we makeup time? How so? Did someone send me? Did I miss something? Did someone send me a super chat? Yeah, you're right, Oz. We're a kakistocracy, okay? Which often comes around with being corrupt. Did someone send me a some bits or something? Is that why you say that, Matt Sci Guy? Please confirm, and then I'll put on the makeup. Okay. So the Senate, folks, was 100% weird amorphous blob. I also think now, folks. Oh, Matt Saigai, thank you very much. Okay, then yes, I will put on the makeup. That was quick. So, guys, someone who just mentioned that the Senate was meant to mirror the House of Lords. For those of you that are from the UK, I also think you all should abolish your House of Lords. I think it is archaic. Yeah, maybe it has some positives, but I don't really think it's necessary. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. Okay. And the American Constitution, when it was written, um, thank you, Alec. Very nice. Okay, good to see you, Alec. Yeah, please watch it later. We are a kleptocracy there, Alan. Okay, so when the Constitution was written, the guy that sort of mainly wrote the Constitution, James Madison, famously said that the purpose of the Senate was to protect the minority of the opulent against the majority. Basically, that the purpose of the Senate was to protect the rich, powerful in government from all of us. I think we need to get rid of the Senate. It is also undemocratic. It is not based off population. It is based off government or different state governments. I believe it, Mithril. Okay. So I think we should only have one legislature. Okay, and it should be the House, which is voted in by the people. Okay, let's go to this next one here. Something else we could do: implement a system of proportional representation in Congress, rather than having this stupid two-party system. Uh, right, I agree, Dolly Boy. Right. So rather than having a stupid two-party system where winner takes all, we need proportional representation, which is done in a lot of places in Europe. I believe Tiago can verify this. In Portugal, they do it this way. In Germany, they do it this way. I think they do it that way in Germany. They do it in a lot of places in Europe, where the percentage of that a party gets of the vote is the percentage of representatives they get to assign. This, by the way, is not only good for the left, it's also good for the right. This is good for all Americans because a lot of times, uh, um, so, for example, in California, whenever a Democratic president wins the vote there, it basically means that all the, um, oh, Zach, you're ahead of me. Okay, you'll see the next slide here. Okay. Uh, So we need I forget what was I just lost my train of thought here, but we need a proportional representation so that everyone can be fully represented in a democratic way, okay? And people aren't disenfranchised. Um yeah, I write Tiago, and it makes it easier to to get things passed like free healthcare. All right. All right. I believe in Matt Saigai. I actually don't know about the Indian a House of Lords type deal. But interesting. Okay. Um Okay, so let's go to the next one here. Who was it that just said it? Was it who was it? It wasn't Alec. Someone else just said this. I'm gonna make sure I see who Zach. Implement ranked choice voting. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to put on the makeup. I wasn't expecting to have to do it during my presentation, so I'm trying to present and put on the makeup. Uh, okay. So Zach said this earlier. We need ranked choice voting. And again, folks, we don't need all of these things at once. We can even choose a few that we think are the most important. Okay. And By the way, London said maybe this is how you teach the kids nowadays. I gotta tell you, folks, I sometimes I'd get pushback for this, but I would oftentimes have my students do a new constitutional convention where they would propose reforms and things to advocate for. We didn't get into it this deep, but yeah, I had one principal tell me, "Are you trying to foment rebellion?" Anyway, so but my students would love it. Okay, right, Matt Sci guy. Okay, so let me go to the next one here. Implement ranked choice voting. This one I think should be non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Um, uh, Create a socialized, universal healthcare system. I cannot. You all know if I start talking about this, I might even get teary-eyed here because of the horror of dying because you can't afford healthcare. Okay. Um, America is a barbaric country that it doesn't give its people adequate health care. You know, I don't like that word. It has a lot of racial and historical colonial things attached to it, but I'm saying using it to make a point here. Uh, so we need socialized, universal health care. I cannot advocate for this enough. And it's disgusting that we don't have it in the 21st century in one of the wealthiest countries in human history. Okay. Um, I don't think we should negotiate on this one, to be honest with you folks. Hey, obviously, what I want isn't necessarily what is necessary for everyone, but that is something that I really think we need. All right, I got the first layer of makeup done here. Okay, um, and then I'll put on some more. All right, let's go to the next slide here. Generous paid maternal and paternal leave. This might not be one of the first ones we go for. Okay, but this is important. Parents should be able to be at home with their children after they have given birth to a new child. Okay, mothers and fathers, and it should be generous, and it should be paid. Obviously, obviously. If we think that this is just about wanting to give parents something, it is also good for the development of the children who will then become citizens. Um, yeah, you're right, Dolly boy. This is probably not one of the most important ones to do. But again, these are just some ideas of some demands to make. Okay. Shorter work weeks and more paid time off. Shorter work weeks, more paid time off. We in America work more than many of the other wealthy, so-called Western countries in the world. We have less time off. It is horribly detrimental to our mental health, to our ability to find fulfillment in life, and it prevents people from engaging in creative things that might actually increase economic stuff. Okay. Yeah, the 4-day work week. That'd be perfect. Sorry, folks. I know I'm sorry. I'm kind of distracted because I'm doing this. Please don't leave just because I'm not focusing on the presentation. I'm almost done with the makeup here. Okay. Please don't leave me. Okay. Um, so yeah, that is insane. That is criminal, Alyssa. Like that is I I cannot imagine. I am not a parent, but I can't imagine what it's like to be a parent that has to be ripped away from their child to go back to work. And not to mention the cost of paying for childcare and shit is astronomical, okay? All right, but we need shorter work weeks and more paid time off, okay? What about placing the control of vital industries such as energy in the hands of the people of the United States? What about that? That might be my socialism coming out, that we don't have to make that one of our most important demands, but it is something to consider. And I think it will be eventually be super important. Mithril, I forgot that one. You're right. Free childcare for all. There we go. A little red on the nose. A little red on the nose. Okay. Um, what do we think of that? Okay. With this, again, might not be one of our first demands. Okay. But this is another important one. Yeah, the means of production in the hands of the workers. Right, Mithril. But as you know, Mithril, this one might be less likely to get agreement on. But some things, okay? Exactly, the weird amorphous blob. This might be too much. This might be something that would have to come later, if ever, okay, to be honest, but it's just something to think about. What about billionaires should not exist? Using taxes or other methods prevent anyone from gaining billionaire status. We like that one. I know I like that one. Putting some blue on the eyes here, a little bit of blue on the eyes. Okay. All right. Uh, my old job gave me 12 weeks paid, lowest. Uh, goodness. Okay. No, you're totally right there, weird amorphous blob. That is why I think you're right. That shouldn't be one of our main demands at first. Good. It's looking good. There we go. Almost done, folks. Almost done with the makeup. I can return to focusing on the stream here. All right. Okay. I think I am done. Actually, this is great. Oh wait, no, a little on the mouth, let me a little bit on the mouth here, a little bit on the mouth. Um, almost done. Okay, so let me go to the next one. Do we think that right? And folks, obviously, we shouldn't demand all these things at once because that would be too much. That would require that would force too many people to push back right away. So as we're looking through these, just try to think which of these do you feel is the most important to demand the loudest, etc. Okay, there, done, 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 done. All right, okay. I'm back to my. How's that look? Is that okay? Yeah, that looked great. Okay. Woo! All right, guys. Okay, so that's another one. What about this one? Full transparency. Oh, I need the hat. Full transparency of Congress's use of finance and a ban on congressional stock trading. Right now, the Congress people can keep trading stocks even though they have insider knowledge about what stocks are going to be doing because they know all the top leaders of companies. Um, fair, London, fair. Absolutely, absolutely weird amorphous blob. Um, and again, folks, this is just a list of ideas for us to think about. We need to think about which of these demands are the most important to us, which ones can we leave on the table for now or remove from the table for now. These are just some ideas, okay? Ban stock trading, 100%. Uh, okay. I think healthcare too would be on my list there, Alyssa. Okay. Oh, what about this one? Much higher taxes on the wealthy. Much higher taxes on the wealthy. Right now, it's like nothing. Um, and oh my God, Zach, I forgot to mention. I think I forgot to mention there. Education, free education. I forgot to put that one down. That's a good point there, Zach. So we need much higher taxes on the wealthy. Now, London. So I partially agree with that, London. And Oz, I think Oz said this too. Both of you mentioned higher taxes on the wealthy and healthcare. Also, ranked choice voting. I suspect that one of the most important ones for us to get rid of first, this is just my opinion, is corruption in politics, which will make it easier to vote in other things. Yeah, but that's fair. We can talk about these other things. Okay. Green energy should replace most to all fossil fuels. It is unfortunate for me to say this, folks. I don't think this will be one of the first demands. Not that it's not important. Unfortunately, I mean, even though the world's about to end because of climate change, yeah, exactly, Matt Guy. This would have to come later because right now people aren't focused on this, even though it is deadly. Okay, deathly um, for us. Okay. Oh, I got you. I got you, London. My apologies. Okay, I see what you're saying, London. Okay. Um, and yeah. Okay. Um, but I will say, Alan, I think that if we get rid of the PAC money, it would become a lot easier to end the Israel funding. That might need to come first. Okay, so that's another sort of demand. Much stricter environmental protection laws. Um, again, this is not a. This could come later. It is important, but it's just something to think about. Stricter gun regulations and red flag laws. Okay, these last few aren't necessarily uh, the first ones to aim for. But again, we're just trying to think here overall. Which of these do we think about? Okay. Um, all right. What about pass the Equal Rights Amendment, which was an amendment from the 80s that attempted to amend the Constitution to ensure no discrimination based off gender. So if you're a woman, you'd be legally treated equally to men, and men would be treated equally to women. And I think this is a super important one. I understand this sounds bad too. I don't know if this is the first thing to go for. But if we, it is still a super important thing. Okay. Okay. Um, because women are, it's bad right now for women. Okay. Uh, all right. What about this? Roll back the power of the president, especially the president's ability to deploy troops without declaring war. Right. Yeah. And again, folks, I know that I kind of went through some of the big ones first here, and these are sort of like other demands that I think are important, but might not be our um are the primary demands are making. Okay, roll back the powers of the president because Trump had. I mean, it's been going up and up and up um, for a long time. Okay, Tiago, this is America. Okay, it's not easy to pass an amendment, especially when so many people are misogynists. Okay, yeah. I doubt it will, Alan, but hopefully. Okay. What about this one? Roll back the reach of the American empire and replace international security with internationally organized military forces. Again, I don't think I know for the people out there across the world, I'm concerned that this is not even near to the top. Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, London. What I should say here is American guaranteed international security, which is sort of a propagandistic way of saying domination. So if we want to protect sea lanes and things like that, we should have international forces doing that as opposed to America just doing it. Okay. Uh, okay. All right. Those are just some ideas. Maybe at some point, yeah, London, something like that. Uh, so yeah, that is so true, Alyssa. And I'm not saying you all know I'm not saying that because I want to leave women in the lurch here. This is an issue of whether it's even possible given the political situation and whether having other demands come first would be the ones that are more important to even getting that achieved. Yeah, Matt Guy, reconfigure the UN to remove the dominance of the US, China, UK, Russia, and France. Also, Matt Guy, giving more power to the UN, to be honest with you. Okay, trans people are already being cut off. Yeah, they are. They are, Toya, Toya, Toya. Okay. Um, oh my God, Zach, that's a great idea. As Zach says, I would argue that we should transition the military into the largest engineering industry in the world. They build the infrastructure. Our military is the largest employer. You're right. We could definitely do something like that. Imagine if, like, yeah, yeah. Okay, guys. So those are just some of the things. Those are the things I have listed over there. That's true, Matt Guy. Those are just some of the things I have listed over on Discord. Remember, though, going back to what I said at the beginning of this, we need demands that are specific and narrow down. So obviously, not all these demands. So try to think about if you have demands that you think are more important, and or if they're in this list, which of these demands, maybe think of 1 to 3 of them that you think should be what a resistance movement focuses on achieving, okay? We can't go for the world at first. We can't, we just can't. We need to be able to focus on which ones are the most important, okay? Um, yeah, you're right, Toya, about, the dam, okay? No, no, Tiago. Zach, we should demand everyone get a free pony, otherwise I'm out. Okay, I support that. Tiago, we should demand soccer change to football. Lies, lies, Tiago. Okay. I agree, Kimberly. I think we need higher taxes on the wealth, the rich. Robert, okay, ranked choice voting first. Again, folks, uh yep, I agree there, London. Realistically, ranked choice voting, free universal health care, and removing corruption, all three of those things, the large amount of people, even rich folks can get behind for the most part. Okay. So again, no, he's not Mithril. How dare you, Mithril? Okay. Way higher taxes on the billionaires. Okay. Toya. I disagree. I disagree. I think the NBA and NFL winners should be claimed as the champions of the world. Okay, because who can compete with them? Really, really, Toya. Who can compete with them? All right, guys. A Matt Sai guy, that's because America has a more enlightened, civilized culture than elsewhere. So we use better phrases for things. Okay, soccer is what you should call that sport, all right? Obviously. I mean that's just a fact. That's just a fact. Okay, you all know I'm messing with you. Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah, exactly. They should be galactic champions. Okay, anyway, moving on. Uh Okay, guys. So, just something to think about. And we exactly, Big Braden. We're so civilized because of all of our guns. Okay. How dare you, Drizzle? Okay, no, obviously. You all know I don't believe in American exceptionalism here, okay? Okay. Okay. All right. So, let us so just something to think about. And remember, folks, I want you to also realize that if the time does come when there is a unified set of demands, it might require some of us to withdraw some of our demands. So because the left, for example, has an issue with infighting, and sometimes you just gotta do what is achievable. That is not to say I don't think we should have major reforms. We need some sort of major reforms. Okay, Meowzord. That is a good question. I don't know the answer to it, Meowzord. Meowzord says, "Do you believe demands are only as good as their ability to compel the other side to openly discuss them, or should the demands not need to be adapted to convince the other side?" I don't know, Meowzord. I really don't. That is such a complex question. I'll let people decide that for themselves. I suspect, Meowzord, that we would be able to convince a lot of people from the other side if we made strong demands about getting corruption out of politics and some of those things I mentioned at the beginning. Uh, because a lot of folks, even on the right, don't like corruption and stuff. So we might need to tailor those demands that would get more people. But some of them, I think, are very popular, even though the right wing doesn't like them. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Um, Okay. That's a good point, weird amorphous blob. I think the question is whether the bounds of achievability are set by the political establishment or not. Like if reasonable within the limits of the DNC, reasonable is far less than popular. Yeah. Yeah, oh, that is true. That is true. Okay. We might need to make demands that are not you know, we need to use political pressure to even get uh demands pushed through that are not like for folks, I think this first one, I'm gonna go back here. Like this one, immediate new elections and the resignation of the entire Trump regime. That would be hard to do. But like I don't know. There, it's this, but I think that's super important. Anyway, I know, Victoria. Okay. Uh, okay. But again, like, remember, we still have almost what, more than 3 years of Trump left in office. So, uh, I don't know. This is complicated. Yeah, we could do so. Like, yeah, Robert. Okay, now this would be very hard, but it'd have to require a lot of political pressure because I doubt they'd ever resign. But anyway, so again, this stuff is not easy. Um, yeah. Okay. Okay. You're welcome. Yeah, no problem, SoCal. Okay. So, okay, guys. So there's that. That was just my presentation here. I'm gonna go back to my face now. All right. So, oh, actually, I didn't do the makeup that badly. I'm proud of myself. Okay. So, I'm gonna check here to see if there's any updates about that shooting that happened. Um. Uh. Okay. They've looks like they've identified the shooter, Joshua John, Jahn. Here, I'll put up on the screen here. I know, Drusilla. It was humiliating. I had trouble watching it as an American, especially just because it's so embarrassing. I think Alyssa felt the same way. If Alyssa's in here, I think she made that comment. I'm gonna make this a little bigger so you can see it better. Um, the shooter. So here we have here the shooter identity identifies suspect in Dallas ICE facility shooting. Okay. Um, okay. The shooter believed to be responsible for killing two detainees and injuring a third at Dallas ICE facility is Joshua John, according to three some more sources familiar with the case. John is 29 years old. One source briefed. He was found dead at dead at the scene, and the people that were killed were all detainees, which is horrible. Um, okay. All right. And it looks like the shooter actually fired indiscriminately into the building. Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, Alan. It won't matter really. The right wing will say it's the left. Okay. So Kimberly, I mean, I am believing this story. We don't know many details enough, right? Like, right now I'm believing it because a lot of the sources that have come out from multiple news agencies have reported it, but we don't know for sure yet. I'm just going off what has been reported so far. But we don't know if they're left wing, right wing. We don't know any of that crap. Um, I don't know, London. I haven't read that. It's possible, but it's not confirmed. Okay. I am curious about when they're going to do a live press conference about it. Yeah, everyone will blame each other. Um, and I know that the right wing is already blaming the left wing. I know there was some Twitters. Um, there were some Twitter posts from like Trump administration officials saying it's because of the left wing. Blah 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 blah. But of course, that is not evidence at all. We don't know. Thank you, Tiago. I saw an after. I'm sick. It will help me, Tiago. I haven't even listened to the songs yet. Uh, maybe I got some other things to look at though. But I do hope you feel better. I really do. Uh, that Drusilla. Okay, so okay. I'm not calling you out, Drusilla. I'm just saying, folks. Just reminder, folks here. Okay, we don't know. We don't know. And when people are in like there was a lot of speculation around Charlie Kirk, who killed him, whether it was a cover up. I can promise you, I'm just telling you this based off of the history. Every time there's a big event like this, all these conspiracy theories start flying around, and the vast majority of them are wrong. So we simply do not know about the Charlie Kirk shooter still. We need to have the court case, all right? I think what I say doesn't matter, okay? What I'm about to say doesn't matter because I don't know, all right? I think the crappy evidence we do have points that the guy who did it was leaning left, at least in his thinking. That does not mean I'm right at all because the evidence is bad. We need to wait until the court case. We simply don't know. For this one, the information is so new Please be careful about speculating, okay? Uh, speculating, okay, about this because we simply don't know. And you're going to see people all over Twitter and all over other new social media spouting things. We got to wait, okay? I'm not saying that to be like finger wagging. I know I am a little bit, but it's my inner teacher coming out because we just don't know yet. So don't put all your eggs in a basket here. We don't know. Um, okay. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they wouldn't be below manufacturing evidence, right? But I can promise you, SoCal, that almost every event like this historically has always had people claiming the evidence is manufactured, whether or not it was. So we can't be sure that that's the case now, right? Um, okay. I know. Oh, I know, Alyssa. They are super incompetent, which makes it worse because the information that they're processing, I mean, that how they share the information is making it worse. Um, okay. Alan, I don't know. Right? It is possible. But let me point something else out here, folks. Okay. It is possible, and we don't know. It is possible the guy was a left-wing shooter. But I wanna point out that that doesn't mean a damn thing, right? Because what does a regime expect to happen if you abuse people, if you throw them into concentration camps, if you take away their rights, if you take away their economic stability? There will be a portion of the population that turns to violence to resist that. I am not saying that that is, uh, what motive if this we don't know who this person did, but it is possible that they were left wing, and kind of understandably so. Who here has not? Who here has not I don't wanna say this out loud. Uh, let's put it this way. In theory, in this sort of situation, who would not think in that sort of way of doing violence, right? Um, okay. So, but just be careful, okay? I'm just saying we don't know. Just be careful, and more information will come out. Oh, that's fair, SoCal, okay. Oh, I got you, SoCal. Sorry about that, okay? Yeah, listen, I know, okay? Alright, but again, we don't know. This guy could we don't know yet, alright? But so, I mean, again, as I think it was Alan who said, it doesn't really matter because in the end, the right wing is gonna say it was the left wing. They already are, and they don't know. Um, I know London World. I did not, I said theoretical, and I was being theoretical here, okay? Um, alright, okay. Alright, guys, so, um, alright. So, guys, let us, I know, I understand, London, I understand, okay? Yep, you're right, Matt Guy. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Correct, Matt Guy. Okay. All right, guys. So I have a few things. I know, right, Crystal? 100%. But folks, obviously, let's not Fed post, right? Yeah, avoid Fed posting. I know I prompted that. My point here is saying, right, that I'm talking historically here in societies where people are being abused, some portion of that society is going to do violent resistance. Um, and this could be left or right, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Matt Saigai, you can look it up, okay? Fed posting. Okay. So no Fed posting, all right? It doesn't mean, all right. Anyway, so okay. Because folks, violence is bad. Don't do violence. Shame on you. Shame on you for legal reasons. Shame on you. Okay. All right. Thank you, Tiago. Thank you, Tiago, for the super chat. And thank you, Alyssa. Oh my God, folks, I didn't set another goal yet. I'll set another goal here. If we get, we'll say 5 more, well, 10 more, so I guess 8. Well, we'll just say 5 more. Okay, okay. I will stream for an extra hour, okay, or something like that. Okay. Um, okay. Okay. So, all right. Okay. So am I, London. Okay. All right. So, guys, thank you for the super chats there, Alyssa and Tiago. I don't have to pay for healthcare for your tooth. I know. Okay. All right. So, okay, guys, let's. Thank you, Malzord. Okay. This next thing here. Okay. Uh,
To start a podcast with Riverside,
so
all you need is a
1 second here.
concept and a way to record it. Here's how it works.
If your job's
I'll keep you with updates on what's going on. So this was given to me by Robert. I think Robert's here. Thank you, Robert, for sending me stuff. Okay. Um, yay, Alyssa, then you can be around. That's excellent. Okay. I'm glad to hear that. So thank you for the super chat there, Alyssa. So here's another thing too, folks. So Robert posted this on the Google or the Discord. Okay, no problem, London World. Adios, London. Auf Wiedersehen. Okay, so here we have oh no, you're right, King Alo. The problem here is that if I were to get my tooth fixed in a dental school, it would still cost around $6,000 because I need an implant. But I get you, okay? Thank you, Robert, for sending this to me. This, folks, is sort of a palate cleanser, all right? I haven't watched it yet, but Robert sent this to us. It is about the history of jesters. And I'm gonna I'll make it go quickly. But we will so I'll make it go fast, I guess you could say. But I thought it'd be interesting for all of us to watch together. I love jesters. I'm a little selfish here. Oh, Matt Saigai. Hey, let me know when you're about to do your thesis defense there, Matt. So I can cheer you on. Yeah, no, it's super expensive in Ohio. I'll tell you what. So I have to wait till November to get it done. So I literally have a split tooth in my mouth right now, and I have to inject it every night with antiseptic so it doesn't get infected. And it's loose. Half of it is like loose. It's really unpleasant. Okay. So here we go. Let's watch this video about the history of jesters. Because I'm biased and I love jesters. So let's take a watch here. Hopefully it'll be nice here for you.
sucks, just remember that the stakes are low. Chances are, messing up at work means working through lunch or being tepidly grilled in an HR meeting by a snidey stickler. It won't mean being dragged into a dank dungeon, tortured, and, if you're lucky, publicly executed. But for court jesters, bombing on stage was only the start of their troubles. On the plus side, the benefits were out of this world. We're talking wealth, comfort, and respect, plus a snazzy outfit. After all, how many jobs allow you to insult your country's ruler directly to their face? All you had to do was make sure each joke lands. But if you've ever been dragged to watch your brother-in-law's 5-minute open mic set, then you know that comedy is a lot harder than it looks. Jester is no longer a viable job description, yet the skill set and role has manifested into other areas and functions of society.
I'm going to slow it down a little bit because I'm having trouble hearing it, but it's jesters, which is like my dream job. Okay. I guess I kind of am doing my dream job, but I'm not as funny as like a real jester would be. But all right.
As have the consequences. They say dissecting a joke is like dissecting a frog. You might learn something, but the frog dies. With that in mind, it's time to learn how history works, as we examine the evolution of jesters, the worst, best job in history. Chapter 1, the setup. When you hear the word jester, you probably think of guys in medieval Europe wearing pointed shoes adorned with bells, but the origins can be traced right back to ancient civilizations like Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Some of the first accounts date right back to the 5th dynasty of Egypt with the pharaohs who ruled from the early 25th century. But their hired fools were pygmies.
Alyssa.
These were people who lived in the mysterious South, aka Land of the Ghosts, and
Oh
were
my
known to be
God,
short in
you
stature.
guys.
They were
Jesus Christ, I am going to have to do another hour, aren't I? Okay, thank you guys. If we get 2 more, I'll do another hour. Thank you for the super chats there, Tiago, and Alyssa, okay? Thank you guys very much.
employed to dance and entertain, but there's no record of an observable comedy routine etched into a stone tablet, so it seems like it would still take time before jokes appeared, at least in the conventional sense that we understand them. Instead, the closest thing we have to documentation about a performer is dated to the 6th dynasty, when an official wrote to the pharaoh Neferkare that he found a dancing dwarf called Danga. The ruler was delighted and immediately wrote back to the official, pleading with him to bring his humorous little person so he could see their jig in the court of
So no, it doesn't count SoCal because normally it would be 10. So I actually reduced the number. We should technically have to wait for 5 more, but I lowered it down to only 5 more. See what I mean? I lowered down the number.
Cariasi. It might not sound funny to us, but I guess you just had to be there. Still, It would take time for an official job title to emerge. The ancient Mesopotamians had the word aluzinu, which historians believe is the closest thing to the contemporary concept of jester or comedian, but they also had the word musihu, meaning clown, or he who brings to laugh. Similarly, China's King Zhuang of Chu had his own proto-jester. During his reign between 613 and 591 BC, a yu was someone who used humor to mock and joke. It was understood that no offense to be taken so long as their earnest criticism be funny. Likewise, Greece looked for someone to illuminate unspeakable truths with comedy. But often, actors from comedies were thrown into the spotlight. And the thing about actors is they can act, but they can't write. As for ancient Rome, some wealthy households had their own fool, but this wasn't a guy who sat in your corner telling knock-knock jokes. This would be a guy who was, shall we say, not right in the head. Nowadays, your rich neighbors will brag about getting the latest Tesla or a fridge that connects to Wi-Fi. Back then, yuppies bragged about the drooling buffoon they picked up at the boutique next to the slave auction. But it wasn't just private homes that were interested in a private yuckster. Businesses saw the virtue in having a comedian lighten the atmosphere. They'd be seen at markets and even brothels. Personally, that sounds a little distracting. Of course, as much as early man...
Okay, folks, we achieved it. Jesus Christ. That was fast. All right, thank you, guys. I will stream for an extra hour today. So instead of going till, like, 4:30, I will go till, well, like normally like 4:20-ish. I'll go to 5:20, okay? So we got 2 more hours now. Excellent. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Seemed to want to find a way to internationalize comedy. We all know the real history of jesters started with medieval Europe. That's because the height of being a professional fool is tied with the arrival of the Dark Ages. Chapter 2.
Carl Jung, the great psychoanalyst, he said, modern people don't see God
Jordan
because
Peterson
they don't look low enough. That's worth thinking about for the rest of your life.
The punchline.
No, resident union thug. I am your capitalist overlord. No, not really. But yes, yeah. Thank you,
Roland
guys.
Farter might sound like a high school nickname, but it was actually the stage name for the jester of King Henry II of Britain.
The farter?
His sphincter manipulation was so impressive that he was gifted a manor in Suffolk with 30 acres of land, though some estimations say that his trouser music earned him 99 acres. All he had to do to maintain his luxurious lifestyle was an annual performance during the king's Christmas celebration. Every year, Roland would turn up, jump, whistle, and fart. It was hardly Cirque du Soleil, but the pressure of losing his livelihood must have been immense. It should be noted that Roland's skills were an exception. Usually, a jester was more a circus clown or a bard. They played music and sang, they juggled, they told stories, and performed magic tricks and acrobatic routines. During this time, jesters were expected to have multiple roles like offering counsel to rulers and even confidants. This was because their privilege to speak freely afforded them
Yeah, so the jesters were the ones who were only ones who were really allowed to speak freely about this stuff. Right? What a life, right? Yes. The farter, did you all hear that? That one jester who would just fart all the time? Okay. Yep, yes, they absolutely were. Okay.
Conventional insights. After all, joke writing is interested in paradoxes and subversion, which makes them perfect for sniffing out hypocrisy. No doubt this was a valuable tool for any leader seeking to maintain a balance of power between institutions, servants, and rivals. If you've seen Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones, you've got an idea of the value they had. Just imagine Peter Dinklage in goofy costumes and occasionally doing cartwheels.
Thank you, Matt.
According to journalist Richard Boston in his book, The Anatomy of Laughter, jesters are like the Joker in a deck of cards. Neither suit nor number, yet they can become the strongest card in the pack. Whereas an absolute monarch represents authority, a jester represents lawlessness. They can be nothing or everything. They are wild. They are political antimatter. It can be argued that the institutionalization of jesters into the political machine is the sign of a developing civilization. But getting too comfortable with mocking a king or queen could be fatal. Take Nicholas Ferial, otherwise known as Triboulet. He was a 16th century court jester to the kings of France, Louis XII, and
I've heard of Triboulet. Well, hopefully they'll talk about
Francis I. He started as a low-level jester, but rose the ranks to become a fully-fledged court clown by 24. Apparently, the thing that nabbed him a promotion was ceasing to be an idiotic imbecile, and instead becoming a crafty, witty buffoon. Think of it like changing his act from Mr. Bean to Blackadder. Once he told the king that a nobleman was threatening to beat him, the great Triboulet, the king responded that if the nobleman did attack his court jester, then the king could easily beat the attacker to death within 15 minutes. Triboulet replied, "That's great, but can't you do it 15 minutes earlier?" So witty he was that he inspired characters within the works of legendary writer Victor Hugo centuries later. His silver tongue even saved his life. Once, he slapped the King Francis I on his derriere, but instead of an applause from the courtiers, the monarch turned to him and threatened to have him executed unless the jester could come up with an apology that was even more offensive than his actions. In response, Triboulet said, "Sorry, I didn't recognize you, your majesty. I mistook you for the queen."
Okay, maybe it's not that funny. I think it's hilarious. I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I mistook you for the Queen. Oh, God. Okay.
As far as heckler put-downs go, that's not so bad. Unfortunately, the king's wife was off limits, so Triboulet was ordered to death. However, the king rewarded his fool's year-long servitude by letting him choose the manner of death. Triboulet's response? "I choose to die from old age." Well, it was funny enough for the king to call off the execution, and instead banish the jokester. Talk about a tough crowd. Then again, things would have been worse had Tribulate not been a clown
but he didn't get executed, right? He was able to joke himself out of getting executed.
of the Renaissance. Chapter 3. The Topper. As the medieval period shifted into the Renaissance, jesters reached their peak. The spark of interest in more serious matters saw the style of jesters change from stupidity to being more serious about being unserious. After all, this was a period of art, literature, science, and culture. Political intrigue dominated dinner table conversation. There was no market for Roland the Farter during these times of sophistication. Jesters were still expected to sing and dance and play music at banquets, but the expectations for witty banter and satire during intimate gatherings replaced the needs for foolishness. The clothing changed to reflect this too. Gradually, the garish colors and ridiculous outfits were refined into more acceptable eccentricity.
That's the photo for my starting page, my starting screen that Meowzord found.
Case in point, Archibald Armstrong. That was his real name, by the way, not a stage name. The 17th century native of Cumberland first earned himself a reputation for stealing sheep before, somehow, being hired as a jester by then King James VI. According to historians, his sharp mind and acid tongue made him a favorite of the court, soon earning him silk clothes and a handsome salary. He joined the king at weddings, tours, and diplomatic missions. Though his success went to his head, his pompousness didn't stop him from becoming recognized as a quintessential Renaissance jester, though his smugness did get him unceremoniously ejected from the court of Charles I for an all-times jibe about religion. It seemed the king wasn't the only one getting tired of jesters. When the Enlightenment rolled around, the pursuits in rationality and science left little room for people to be silly. Now, humor was seen as irrelevant and disrespectful. It was at odds with the emergence of decorum and other societal expectations regarding honor, decency, and politeness. Farting may have been the big thing in medieval times, but tastes had changed. Mocking authority figures was frowned upon, even with the decline of monarchies across Europe. Without kings or queens to place jesters in positions of influence, there was no one else to give the role credence. Even monarchies that became constitutional monarchies dropped their royal courts, which further reduced the demand for a qualified fool. Add to this the rise of censorship and controlling governments and institutions, and you've got the lifeblood of the comedian cut off at the source. No longer could jesters create biting and social political commentary without being thrown in jail or spurned from high society. The best a jester could do was take to the streets. But their reliance on acts like juggling and acrobatics would be dealt another blow when the 19th century hit. Circuses, music halls, and even the movies were pretty much the final nail in the coffin. Now, there were other places to see daring feats without hearing jokes, and places to hear jokes without seeing daring feats. A jester's skill set could be divided up and spread across vibrant new entertainment with its formidable industry. A simple street juggler couldn't compete. It was well and truly over for the jester, at least when it came to the job title and funny costumes, because, as we'll see, the 20th century was a time that needed laughter. Chapter 4.
Yeah,
the
for
reversal.
sure. We need to reintroduce the
20th
court
century
jester
wasn't that fun.
to the
There
White
was
House.
war, revolution, genocide, and all-around misery, especially if you were living under a dictator who infamously can't take a joke. Yet the emergence of Nazi Germany and Stalinist Russia did see a re-emergence in the jester, kind of. Cabarets became the place to see jokes intertwined with physical performance. Though
Yeah,
jesters
I recommend everyone watch the movie Cabaret. It's very good.
were no longer performing in royal courts, a public stage became the right place to get back into the swing of things. Take the Berlin cabaret artist Werner Fink. One of his performances ridiculed Hitler.
Yes, so folks, I set another goal here. If we get 5 more, we can have like a, you can ask me personal questions, like a open forum talking about just me personally. I don't know if anyone's interested in that, but it's just, I was trying to think of some other goal. That's the first thing I could think of.
With the same precision as Tribulay's crack about the Queen's behind. When a Nazi decree demanded that pictures of the Fuhrer be hung in all government offices, Fink and his cohorts took the stage carrying a giant picture frame, making sure the audience could only see the back of it. Of course, everyone knew what the picture represented. So when Fink warned his co-star to be careful with the unwieldy portrait and not to topple, the public had witnessed a blazing dig on the German dictator with enough plausible deniability to spare Fink a trip to the gallows. The school of Nazi ridicule peaked with Charlie Chaplin's The Dictator, arguably the cinematic equivalent of a jester, but with his inventive slapstick and acrobatic skill. But in case you're still skeptical about the correlation between Dark Times and pratfalls, it's worth knowing that Joseph Goebbels, Hitler's right-hand man of propaganda, banned slapstick movies outright. Not that he was the only one to detest practical jokes. Decades later, when the USSR had spread over the globe, protesters invoked the tried and tested methods of the jester to stage ingenious resistance. They were called the Orange.
Okay, so yeah, so this is the history I like, how it was sort of recognized in the modern era. Does Tiago's count? Yeah, actually, I guess technically it would. So yes, I'm not sure why. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, so we have 2 technically. We just need 3 more, and then we can ask me some personal questions.
And it takes up a lot of time. I spend around 8 hours of editing alone on one video. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the creative process of making animations, editing.
We could do that, King Alo, or Alan. How about this? If we get to the 5, we can do personal questions, and if we get 5 more after that, we can do another late night stream.
Music, perhaps some fun effects, but you gotta admit, some editing tasks are just so boring and take up a lot of time. For example, cutting away silences.
Alternative, an anti-communist underground movement led by Waldemar Friedrich. Friedrich was born in 1953 Poland and earned the nickname Major when he dodged the military service with an elaborate act. He turned up to the Communist Commission dressed in a military commander's outfit while expressing red-hot zeal to join the forces. The conscription officials were so put off by his display of dedication that they ruled him mentally unfit to participate in the front line. But that was just the start for Orange Alternative. They were a group of pranksters whose motto was, "There is no freedom without dwarves." If you're trying to figure out what it means, then you're missing the joke. The movement lacked any ideological motive and instead focused on mocking absurdities with what they named happenings. These avant-garde installations included people lining up each with a letter on their shirt, which, when lined up correctly, spelled out the name.
So if we get, what is it, two more, and we can ask me some personal questions. Though that'll happen within the next bit of time. But then if we get 10, I will stream another again later tonight.
Of a popular drink. The DNA from staging these impromptu mass gatherings and strange artistic installations can be seen in the flash mob craze of the early thousands and even the Just Stop Oil protesters, as well as internet pranksters who troll protests. Now, it seems anyone can be a jester, and any stage can be a royal court, which brings us neatly to the final evolution of the jester.
Okay, one more,
Chapter
folks.
5,
Thank you, Tiago.
The in-joke. We've all seen how stand-up comedy has become a fully fledged craft and industry. And we've all seen how funny men go from talk show host to respected journalist and author. So it was inevitable that comedians would gravitate towards areas of authority as time went on. But not many people predicted that a jester would eventually become king. Love him or loathe him, Trump has signaled a shift in world politics that's as seismic as the transition from the Dark Ages to the Enlightenment. This guy is a one-man meme factory. Whether it's because he's a professional idiot or just an idiot doesn't seem to matter. He's proved that the old way to do things is over.
Banksy is a jester. I actually have a piece of Banksy's art on the wall behind me. You probably can't see it very well, but it's an image of two Bobbies making out. So that's a Banksy piece of art. I love Banksy. Brilliant. Just modern day jester.
Publicly dissing a citizen was a surefire way to end your political career. But now, a dig at Rosie O'Donnell catapults you to the White House. But Trump wasn't the first politician to flirt with the jester archetype. Obama and Biden buddied up for short-term content, and Silvio Berlusconi was known for being a larger-than-life character. Even Boris Johnson, the former mayor of London, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and architect of Brexit, spent years winning favor with the public with his buffoonery. How ironic. Jesters went from objects of...
Yeah, that was it. You're right, Resident Union. That was a gift from my twin sister, because she knows me very well. And it was a great gift.
Mockery, tools of counsel, conduits of resistance, and finally, being in charge. It seems after centuries of being a fool, jesters finally got the last laugh. Or are we kidding ourselves? Tell us whether you think Trump reignited the power of the jester.
Thank you, Matt Saigai, for doing that.
Not all jesters made it out alive. And if you want to see why, make sure to check out our video on the history of getting canceled. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep on learning how history works.
I took two things that I love, dancing and dogs, and I made them into a successful business.
Yeah,
Hi,
okay,
I'm
guys.
Ronnie.
So
I'm
I
the
did
owner.
just get another, no, I don't think I have heard of Frankie Boyle, Mithril. I just got another, buy me a coffee, so you can ask me some, okay, so I'll put my face back up. We can, thank you, Lee Lane. Okay, guys, do you want to do it now? Here, let me ask. Do you want me to do you want to ask me personal questions now, or do you want to wait until after we react to some more things? Because we got plenty of time. Let me do a poll here. I know if you're on Twitch, you can't answer the poll. I'm sorry about that. So if you're on Twitch, say yes or no, and then I will count those in. Okay. Questions now. Okay, and if you say no, that means you're okay with us. We can react to stuff later. Okay. Start the poll. Here we go. So yes means we can do the questions right now, and then I'll react to stuff after it. Or if you say no, we will react to stuff now and then do the questions later. All right, we got 5 votes in. Almost all of them say no. 1 says yes. Okay. So we can, in that case, let's do some reactions first, folks. For now, looks like that's where it's going. Okay. So we'll do the reactions and then we'll do the personal questions. Okay. Okay. So we'll do the reactions now. Okay. So we have a few more things here. Okay. People posted here on Discord. First one, I'm not sure who posted that. Was it Alyssa? It may have been Alyssa. This is Kamala Harris. She was on MSNBC, okay, and she made the following remarks. An illustration of the ignorance of the Democratic Party here. Wasn't you, Alyssa? I'm not sure who it was. Yeah, you're right, Mithril. Okay. I forget who it was. Someone sent this to me. Was it you, Matt Guy? Someone sent it to me. Alan, maybe Alan or Braden. Regardless, thank you for sending it to me. Apparently, she has some interesting words here that are illustrative of the ignorance of the Democratic Party. Is that so, King Alo? I didn't know that, Alan. Oh, yeah, I did know that. Her father was a Marxist scholar, so she knows better than to say this. Okay, so let's listen to what Kamala Loser Harris says.
A tyrant. We used to compare the strength of our...
Sorry, here we go.
A tyrant. We used to compare the strength of our democracy to communist dictators. That's what we're dealing with right now, Donald Trump.
Matt I got some of yours. I'm ready to react.
And these titans of industry are not speaking up. A tyrant.
Thank you, Trump failed.
We used to compare the strength of our democracy to communist dictators. That's what we're dealing with right now, Donald Trump.
So, do you hear what she's saying? She's saying that Trump is a communist dictator. Okay, I mean, like, yeah, okay, he's a dictator, but like, communist dictator? I really, I just don't. Okay. Hey, no, it was Oz. I voted for her too. Okay, I'm glad people did vote for her because she would have been better than the alternative. But the Democratic Party was a massive failure to have her as the candidate. Okay, so yeah, okay. I just don't even. I just thought that was funny. Let's go to the next one here. I'm not sure who posted this one here. Oh, Malzord, did I misunderstand it? What do you think she said, Malzord? Did I misunderstand it? Am I interpreting it wrong? Malzord, Malzord says I don't think she's saying that actually as much as I dislike Kamala. Maybe I misinterpreted Malzord. That's very possible. Okay. Okay. So I don't know. Okay, guys. So let me just watch this next one. This is okay. We got another one here. I don't know who sent this to me, but this is Hillary Clinton. I know we're going through some of the. That's fair, Malzor. I know we're going through some of the past Democratic candidates. This is just kind of coincidental from what I was asked to react to. Really, it keeps crashing for you guys. That's weird. I know, Alan. I know. But let's see what. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Victoria. Okay, so we'll see what Hillary Clinton has to say. I am not a fan of Hillary Clinton, not even a little bit, but we'll see what she has to say here.
With leaders from around the world. I'm curious in your public and perhaps in your private conversations what they're telling you about dealing with this president, particularly in his second term, when it feels that the guardrails are off in many ways, about the flattery they feel like they need to give him. If you look at his visit to the UK last week, or even President Macron giving that friendly phone call in traffic yesterday, just about the way they have to deal with this president different from, say, the previous president or your husband or Ronald Reagan. What are they telling you about what foreign policy is like in this second Trump administration?
Well, I was listening to your interview with Congressman Jason Crow before I came on, and he made a really important point. In dealing with President Trump, there is no larger strategy. There is no overarching goal. We've just been talking about what presidents, both Republican and Democrats, were trying to do strategically with Russia. It's all personal with President Trump. It's all about how he feels about someone, when he wakes up in the morning thinking, who's the last person who talked to him. Everybody's figured that out. And so if you are in pursuit of a larger objective, ending the war in Ukraine on terms that are favorable to Ukraine, to freedom, to the larger issues in Europe and beyond, ending the war in the Middle East, figuring out what the day after will look like, dealing with China.
Okay, Malzord, I'll take that critique. Maybe I misinterpreted what she was saying. Malzord says, I think she's saying we used to compare our Democratic president to dictators who allowed state business collusion, and now look at Trump. Okay, Malzord, that's fair. Maybe I was too hard on her. Is possibly what she meant. That would make more sense because she is. Yeah, you're right, Meowsword. How she said it was kind of off, but I could see that because she's not like she's a dumb person. Maybe she just said it in a bad way. She absolutely, Drusilla, that's 100% true. Okay, Hillary is snobby. She does give off an air of being better than normal people. Also corrupt, corporate establishment, power player. I'm not a fan of Hillary Clinton at all. She also has blood on her hands. Lots of blood on her hands.
Dealing with Iran. There has to be strategy, but it has to be conveyed in a way that leaders believe President Trump will hear them. And, that's personal diplomacy. I wrote a piece in the New York Times that ran a day or two ago with my co-teacher at Columbia, the dean of the School of International and Public Affairs, Karen Yarhi-Milo, where we said, don't over-personalize foreign policy because you can replace credibility with volatility. But when you have a leader who only personalizes policy, domestic and foreign, you have to figure out how you can be heard by him, how you perhaps can convince him. So I actually think that the Europeans have learned a lot of those lessons because there are certain feelings that he has about people and strategy and geopolitics
of course,
that you have to keep.
Alan. Okay, so I'm honestly not really sure what she was saying there. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, but it sounded cognizant at least. I think she was saying that there are no, in dealing with President Trump, there is no larger strategy. There is no overarching goal. Yeah, that is actually true. So I agree with her. She's saying that it's all about how he feels about someone, what he wakes up in the morning thinking. Very true. He is not like a ideologue. He's all about Trump. He acts on instinct. He's a mess. Okay, so I agree with Hillary Clinton. That might be the first time I've ever said that in my life. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here, folks. I know I wasn't talking much, folks. I apologize. I was trying to read the chats as they were coming in here. Let me see here what else we got. We got yes. So Matt Saigai sent this to me. Apparently, Israel's Knesset passed a law barring Israelis from having Palestinian spouses. Now, if you're from South Africa or from the US and you're in here, you know what that sounds like. Okay? Of course, Alan, of course, that's how it'll be justified. So Israel's parliament on Thursday passed a law denying naturalization to Palestinians from the occupied West Bank or Gaza married to Israeli citizens, forcing thousands of Palestinian families to either immigrate or live apart. Yep, pizza. Yep. But this is from March 10th, but this is still relevant. Okay, this is from 2022. But it's still relevant. It's just it is. But this is relevant because people don't understand how much of an apartheid state this actually was. Okay, this actually is. Okay. Yeah, so they it's meant to prevent the gradual return of Palestinian refugees who were driven from their homes during the Nakba. I mean, this is it's pretty self-explanatory here. Exactly, literally what Nazis did. It's like the Nuremberg laws. So again, just a reminder, folks, this is the kind of situation that Palestinians have been living under. Very much like segregation in the U.S., like apartheid in South Africa, like the Nuremberg laws in Nazi Germany. So just something to think about that I've often forgotten about the these racial laws and stuff in Israel, which are very, very backwards and very, very yeah, right, Alan. Imagine how hopeless the Palestinians have felt. They've been born and raised in concentration camps, have been undergoing a genocide for 2 years, and most of the world won't even acknowledge their existence. Yeah. And then Israel wonders why there's radicalization that happens. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for that, Matt Sci guy. I have a few other things here I wanted to react to. What did I see here? Did I miss something? Oops. Some people said they were having issues with the stream. Is that so? Okay, here. So this one, I'm not sure who sent this to me, but this one is Oklahoma's mandated classroom Bibles erase amendments 11 through 27 from the Constitution. 100% pizza. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be Meowzord. Do I? I don't think, but I'll add it because we have time, so I'll add it. Pizza, I've always noticed there are steps to genocide. 1, dehumanization. 2, degradation. 3, extinction. Pizza, you're actually right, okay? At some point, I'm going to do a live stream on the stages of genocide. I've been avoiding it because I don't want to overburden people with very depressing things, but it is important to talk about. You're right. Dehumanization is always the first step there, okay? Degradation, extinction. Yep. Okay. So let's watch this real fast. Then I'll watch the Pearl Mania thing Meowzer's requesting. Yeah. So this, we'll see what this is about. I don't know what this is about.
Under the microscope. Some Bibles approved by State Superintendent Ryan Walters for Oklahoma classrooms are back under the microscope. Some teachers who've just received them are pointing out what's not included. I got to see one of those Bibles for myself. Oklahoma teachers are now getting a closer look at the God Bless the USA Bible placed in their classrooms. And some are surprised by what they do.
Because, by the way, folks, they've added a bunch of Bible. They've now allowing all these Bibles into classrooms in Oklahoma. Yep. These are the Trump Bibles, 100%, Melissa. That the Oklahoma is now allowing Bibles and stuff into public schools. Complete violation of the separation of church and state. They're also allowing the 10 Commandments into schools. It's pretty horrific. Okay.
Don't see. Previously, Superintendent Ryan Walters said including the Constitution was an important part of buying this Bible, as well as its religious teachings.
We've been clear in our guidance and in the standards that the Bible would be used in its historical context.
Now, one social studies teacher is going viral on social media, pointing out what others might not have known. This version includes the Constitution in the back, but leaves out amendments 11 through 27, like the 13th Amendment, which abolishes slavery.
Yeah, abolishes slavery.
The 19th Amendment, allowing women to vote. The 22nd Amendment, limiting a president to 2 terms in office. And the 20...
okay. Yeah, they're leaving out the 13th Amendment. Leaving out the 19th Amendment. So the 13th Amendment abolishes slavery. 19th allows women to vote. 22nd allows a president to serve only 2 terms in office. The 26th Amendment lowers the voting age to 18.
The 6th Amendment, lowering the voting age.
And by the way, younger people are typically more liberal. That's what the thought is amongst a lot of right-wingers. So they don't want people as old as... They don't want people that are 18 years old to vote because they're more likely to vote liberal. So, yep.
To 18. I reached out to the publisher of the Bibles who said the decision was made to only include the original Founding Fathers documents, as amendments 11 through 27 were added at later dates.
It would certainly mislead students if they are given this Bible. And
lawyers for Americans United for Separation of Church and State are in the middle of a lawsuit against Walters and the OSDE. They are against adding biblical teachings to the newly approved social studies standards, which are currently on hold.
Should constitutions and the Bill of Rights...
Right, Meowzord. Oops, just a random oversight. We didn't even notice it was those amendments. Oops. Also, I've never heard of Project 2025, by the way. I'm not sure why I'm saying that again. Right, Meowzord? Okay, just a misunderstanding, folks. Yeah, Resident Union Thug, just a misunderstanding.
Should that be included in a Bible?
that also doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, what that does is sends a message that the Constitution and religion are intertwined.
And many of the Bibles those classrooms are now receiving, they were donated. That's because lawmakers denied Walters' request this year to use $3 million in taxpayer dollars to buy them.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's the kind of horror. Again, by the way, Oklahoma has either the worst education system in the country or one of the worst. I think it's number 50. Right, Alyssa? There you go. Yeah, those teachers should engage in malicious compliance. They should read the genocide parts of the Bible and things like that. Yep, thank you, Alan. You're the one that told me that. Hello, HYJMTRS. Lots of these inscribed bullets and clips being found. Yeah, I know, HY. Okay. Okay. What a Shyamalan twist. They're racist again. Oh, shocking, right? Are we all shocked by this? Okay, so, oh, that's fun, right, folks? Let me find the one Meowzord sent to me, because I really like Pearl Mania. Okay. Boop-a-doop-boo, boop-a-doop-boo. Okay, let me find Pearl Mania here. Pearl. Here we go. The rapture will never happen. Let's watch this. Okay. Yeah, and by the way, folks, I'm disappointed the rapture didn't happen because God.
It's never been easier to start a podcast than with Riverside. Here's how it works. First, go to riverside.fm.
Folks, I'm here to tell you the good news.
Okay,
today is the rapture. That's right. Do you hear the trumpets? Do you hear the trumpets being blown as prophesied by Walmart Americans? They said that today, September 23rd, 2025, is the rapture. And I know you're watching this going, no one was raptured. I looked outside.
Gotcha, man.
I know. Because the rapture did not happen. No, it did not, folks. No, it did not.
I do need a soundboard, don't I? I really need a soundboard. I need, he's much better at this than I am. I need a soundboard.
Jesus Christ didn't part the clouds and suck up all the good people. No, no, no. We looked out the window.
Like Why was he
no
like this?
Good people getting sucked up, naked but not afraid, into the sky. Because the rapture is not in the Bible. It's a fan fiction. The rapture is to the Bible what Shades of Grey is to Twilight. And if you understand that reference, you were never getting into heaven anyway. Just like Shades of Grey starts as a fan fiction and then gets legitimized into its own thing that destroys Ellen DeGeneres, the rapture was created in 1830 by a man and then got legitimized.
Think about that, folks. The idea of the rapture came about in the 19th century. This doesn't even go all the way back to the beginning. Yes, there were people who thought, even early Christians thought that Jesus would be coming back. But it wasn't the same idea as the rapture, okay? That was sort of a lot later invention. Oh, you're totally right, Pizza. There are people who think Dante is biblical, even though he's a fanfic. Absolutely.
And added into the margins of Bibles that helped sell tent revivals. And then over time, it became just as fun as, if not more fun, to think about than the actual book. And so here we are. We have multiple centuries now. We're coming up on 200 years of rapture fan fiction, rotting all of our brains. It's the original Italian brain rot, except it's, I think, English. I think it's from England. Most bad things are.
Oh,
but the rapture has been an idea that I've had thrown at me. End times prophecy,
that's when,
apocalypse, my entire life. My entire life, I've been told that the world is about to end. So why try? Why bother? Why push to raise the minimum wage? The world's about to end. Why fight to make sure you have clean water and air? The world's about to end. Why make sure that landlords and billionaires and more don't gobble up more of our economy, time, and money? The world is about to end. Stop being greedy or you won't get into heaven. That's been the messaging that's been shoved at me my entire life. I was born in 1984. Might have heard of it. It's a book. It's a book, a prophecy of its own, written by George Orwell.
1984, my favorite.
You know why
book.
he chose the year 1984? He didn't. His publisher did.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he's actually just about to tell you. I won't tell you. He's about to tell you.
His publisher did. He wrote the book in 1947. It was going to be published in 1948. They were trying to come up with a prophecy timeline for it, and the publisher said, just flip the numbers.
There you go.
Take that 1948, make it 1984. He said,
right,
great. I love that. And then Taylor Swift said 1989, but that's a different prophecy. It's a prophecy of fun and good times. 1984, though, was a prophecy about what will happen if an authoritarian leader was to come into power, start labeling things and making people disappear and playing with minutes of hate and rage boxes and more, and making sure that all of us are being monitored at all times through different devices that we cover and carry with ourselves as we stare into them and can't keep track of time anymore. But that prophecy hasn't come true. No, we're here to talk about the Bible. You know them scrolls? You guys know them scrolls? They took a bunch of scrolls, they put them together in a book. Back in the 300s, Roman emperor called together a big council and said, there's too many scrolls around here, guys. There's a lot of things that are canon, and there's a lot of things that are too extended universe over here. And much like Disney with Star Wars, he came in and they made some choices. And they said, these books are in, these books are out, none of these scrolls over here. Toss in a little bit of this crazy ending. And they did. They did that.
And as I said before, folks, the earlier Gospels, the ones that are considered to have been written closer to the time of Jesus' life, are actually less supernatural. There are less things in there that could be viewed as supernatural. And the earliest ones we have were written years after Jesus was around. Something to think about.
And it's melted people's brains ever since. We are now 1,000+ years into dealing with the ramblings of lunatics.
You're right, Pete. So, I don't know why
that some people
Trump is the Antichrist.
Make their whole personality. And I am not talking about Steven Universe fans. No, I am talking about people who are constantly and consistently going through a religious psychosis. And we're dealing with them a lot. They are our leaders. They are our congressmen. They are possibly... It's not our president. No, that man is the devil. I cannot stress to you. That's the part that drives me crazy, is that all these people who believe in end times prophecy, they believe in the Left Behind series, they believe in the rapture and tribulation and revelations and all these different things. They can't put together any of the very obvious signs that Donald J. Trump is actually the Antichrist. They can't do it. They won't do it.
Yeah, of course not.
The president of the United States, people are
called confirmation bias, folks. If when things confirm what you already believe, you're more likely to believe them. So they love Donald Trump. So, of course, none of those things from the Bible are ever going to make them think that Trump is the Antichrist, because it doesn't confirm a prior bias they already have.
Currently building gold statues of him, holding up Bitcoins,
pizza,
and posting them around Washington, D.C. If that isn't, come on, guys.
True.
This isn't even the first time someone's made a gold statue of Trump. Trump himself posted an AI video of Gaza reimagined
so disgusting
as a resort town with gold statues of himself. The Holy Land covered in gold statues of his own visage.
Jesus Christ.
That's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, a little crazy.
It's almost as if that would be in the Bible. A man who is a charismatic leader who's going to tell people that he is actually the way. Nothing bad will happen, only good. That man couldn't, not one pastor, not one preacher has been able to put that together. I remember so vividly how many people thought Obama was the Antichrist. Remember Obama?
God, yes. And if you remember in, what was that movie? Mel Gibson made it, The Passion of the Christ. I think it was The Passion. No, it wasn't. There was some movie about Jesus that was put out, and there was a representation of the devil in that movie that looked very suspiciously like Barack Obama. And it's kind of like, I wonder if that was done on purpose. Probably was.
Remember Obama, folks?
Oh my God! Okay.
Obama was the Antichrist. History Channel. The History Channel Network.
Oh my God! Wow, not good call. I am a prophet. Have we noticed this? I am a prophet, okay? Give me your money. I'll tell you the future, okay?
Did a thing on the end times, and they made Satan himself look very much like Obama. It's crazy times.
Yeah, there it is.
Crazy times. No one has ever made the devil Trump. It's wild to me.
Did you know that 95% of girls in the most disadvantaged communities
I'm sorry
in
for
rural
all these
Africa...
depressing ads. Okay. Or Jordan Peterson
It's wild
scares.
to me that doesn't happen. We're in a time period right now of not only religious psychosis, but AI psychosis. They're using AI to make the dead psychosis. Speak, making them speak and tell people the word, to tell people to not fear death, because you will be reunited with your loved ones in the kingdom of heaven. And right now, we have many people disappearing across this country, disappearing into camps.
Yeah.
Many of them faithful. Many of them very big believers in Jesus Christ. Some of them actually themselves name Jesus.
Jesus.
And they're being snatched up by masked men, hurried away into camps. And right now, at least 1,200 of them are missing from a place called Alligator Alcatraz. Their family's desperate to find them, apparently. But don't worry. More families will be joining them soon. Because our president, who is not the Antichrist, has declared that anyone who stands against them is a domestic terrorist.
Mithril, I can't wait for the anti-Trump
Isn't that
football
fun?
fans. Me too.
Isn't that fun, folks? Folks, we putting it together? Are we picking up what I'm putting down? Are you a ska fan? Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Are you figuring it out what I'm talking about here? I am not a religious scholar. I am just a man who was taught how to read context clues in literature. I was someone who was taught critical thinking.
Yeah.
I'm somebody who was educated before No Child Left Behind. What? Left Behind. No Child Left Behind. The Left Behind series. Wow. Wow,
oh my God, that's funny.
Did I just have a profound thought? I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe I'm just trying to speak in a way that somebody will clip and then put onto TikTok and Instagram, short form video, get me a few more followers, and then I can go on Piers Morgan.
Hey, he's being honest.
And have a fight
with
a MAGA rapper who makes songs about lynching, because they want to bring lynching back, apparently. Remember, lynching was very popular in 1830 when they invented the rapture.
Oh, SoCal, that's a great point. Didn't No Child Left Behind leave more children behind bars than 20 years before? Yeah. Yes, it did. I'm sorry, leave more children behind. Yep, it did. Both, actually. It did, weirdly enough, it did improve like math and English scores, but it reduced a bunch of other scores. It's a complicated thing, but overall it was horrible for everything, okay?
Which isn't in the Bible. You know what else isn't in the Bible? The month September. That's the part that always gets me, because sometimes these guys will get very specific with when they think these things are going to happen. They'll be like, it's going to happen on September 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Time zones were not invented at the time of the Bible. You know what else isn't in the Bible? North America. This entire continent that I'm currently living on,
not
unknown to the Bible.
Mormons do think North
America.
Never
once mentioned by Jesus Christ. Never once mentioned by any of the prophets. And now here we are. We're all just sitting around. We're all just sitting around just trying to wonder, is it going to end? I'm here to tell you it's not.
100% Yasa.
The world is not going to end. It's not going to end anytime soon. It's not going to
I don't know. It might
get better, though.
For the reasons they think.
And I think that's the part that sucks. I think a lot of us are all or nothing people. I know I am, which means if it's not going to get better, then let's just stop it. Let's just stop it. Let's just all we're just going to end the series. We're going to cancel Earth. But we don't do cancel culture anymore. Jimmy Kimmel came back after 3 days. He is the risen.
Oh, my God.
We don't do cancel culture anymore. We disappear people, yes, but we don't do cancel
thank you,
culture.
TJ91.
So we're not canceling Earth.
Thank you for the
We're just going to make it shittier. It's called enshittification. We're going to figure out more and more ways to monetize Earth. That's how we're going to do this. We're going to monetize the shit out of this planet, and we're going to make it more expensive every day. But don't worry. There'll be an app for.
Oh, not only that, pizza, but also climate change. So yeah, it could be nuclear bombs. It could be. Well, I'm also more worried about a mistake, like someone accidentally launching nukes, especially with Trump in charge, pizza. But yeah, you're right. It's unlikely. Whoever mentioned the tab, Vexed. Whoever mentioned the tab crashing when watching the stream. I've had the stream open in the background for the while, and it happened. That's so weird. There's nothing's crashing on my end. Here's a question. Do you have ad block up or something? Maybe it's trying to push through an ad or something. I don't know. That's right. And Twitch has been fine. I'm not sure why it's just on YouTube. Anyway.
For that, huh? We're going to add apps. We're all going to have special little apps. And the apps are going to need water. They're going to have.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. HYJ. Sorry. I'll call you he for now, or hi. Okay. Because HY. Yes. I love District 9. Great movie. Interesting. I don't know. That's weird. That's straight. Yeah. I love District 9. It's a great movie. Great South African movie. Yeah.
To build giant databases that just take all of the delicious drinking water, because the movie Waterworld was a prophecy.
SoCal.
Yep. A lot of you thought it was the Bible. Nope. Kevin Costner's Waterworld. Sorry. You should have gone down to Universal Studios and saw the Waterworld stunt show when you had a chance. But now you can't, because if you go to Florida, you'll get measles.
Yeah, well, that's true.
See?
We're all going to have measles soon.
And that's where we are. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on the sermon for the rapture. I'm going to try. I'm going to think. I'm debating about how often I want to do these. I'm playing around with some different stuff. We'll see.
Okay, I really like his stuff. I've only just been introduced to this guy, but I want to copy him and do everything he does because he's so good at what he does. All right, guys. I'm going to use the restroom. Okay, you know, I'm a constant fountain just spouting liquids. And then I'll come back, of course. Let's do that little personal question conversation. Maybe react to some more stuff, okay? But first, I'm going to use the restroom, so please pardon me for a moment, okay? I'm going to leave up the okay, I'm just gonna, I'll be right back, folks. Okay, yeah, I'm like a sprinkler. Okay, I'll be right back, folks. Please stay around. Okay. Okay, and we're back. We're back. All right, we're back. Let me put up my face. We can do a little personal question stuff now. I'm like a damn sprinkler here. Okay. Okay, guys. Oh, good. I'm glad there's not as many people in here, so they don't have to hear the answers to the personal questions. Okay, I know that's kind of bad. Okay, guys, let's do the personal questions here. Don't worry, I'll do more after that. But given we reached the goal. Okay. All right, folks. Hit me. What questions you got? What questions do you got? What questions do you got? Okay. What do we got here? How big is your car. Oh, I think I know what you mean there, SoCal. I think it would be my car is very small actually. It's a silver. It's a silver car. It's like a little, what is it called? I'm having a mind blank here. It's a Chevy Cruze. It's like a cheap little ass car, but I love it. It's a very teachery car to have though. Okay. I know you're kidding. So, okay. Okay. What shoe size do I wear? I think 9.5. Sometimes it's a 9, sometimes it's a 9.5. Okay. Yeah, that's funny, Robert. Okay. Can you think of any funny story interaction from your teaching days? Oh my God. I'm sure I can. Oh, good Lord. Oh my God, there's a lot. Okay, so I used to be in a classroom where there were so I was in a school and on the roof of the school there would be geese roosting. Like the roof of the school was like a really open area and it was right next to a pond. So there would be why is there red on oh it's my face. Okay. There would be goose on the roof and during the day I had a classroom on the top floor and the geese would get into these fights. And so like in the middle of class you'd suddenly hear honk 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 and you'd hear like okay, you'd hear banging around up there, and then suddenly you'd see like a goose fall off the roof and fly away. So I'd have to the class would constantly be interrupted by geese fighting. And this was in a neighborhood where this was in a neighborhood where it was a low income neighborhood. There was a lot of crime and stuff there. And one day walking into the school, these geese were very aggressive. Okay, this part may not be that funny, but it is kind of darkly humorous. Walking into school one day, there were 2 dead geese outside of the building. Okay, and right next to them were 2 uh used shell casings. So someone had a gun and they were walking along and these geese must have gotten aggressive and they just took them out right in front of the school. Anyway, so that was kind of a bizarre one. I got other stories too, but okay. Let's see here. What other questions do we got? Okay. Who's your favorite dictator? Uh, Let me go back here. What's your favorite time period in history? Oh, that's a good one. I really like World War II. I like a lot of different time periods, but teaching World War II because I got to talk about the rise of fascism, that would be my favorite time period to teach. The rise of fascism and things like that. Okay, I love teaching about that. But I like teaching about a lot of things. But really like teaching the World War II era to folks. Okay. All right. Um, what's your favorite period? Okay, okay. Are you dating? Alyssa, yes, I am dating. I am dating. Um, I am dating. Let's put it that way. Yes. Okay. I am dating. All right. Meowzord. Who's your favorite dictator? The phrasing there, Meowzord. Well, okay. I think you can all guess in terms of teaching about this person, Hitler. Okay, right, Alyssa? Okay. I enjoy teaching about Hitler, not because he is, I like him, but because he's interesting to teach about. And people always have, shut up, Matt Saigai, how dare you? Okay, I'm not blushing. That's paint on my face. Um, okay. So, right. Okay, guys. Let's see here. What else? What's my favorite? Uh, It's been interesting. Wow, did you find a job in teaching yet? Thank you for the question there. Uh, who was that? I keep losing it. TJ91. I've been a while since I've been here. Have you found a teaching job yet? So to be honest with you, TJ, I started looking at first. In just in case I wasn't able to do what I'm doing now full time. I currently am not making enough to do this full time, but I am making the amount that I'm making. The amount I made not last month, and I'm going to be making more this month, shows that over time I'm going to be getting more over time. So I am probably going to be doing this full time, as long as my income continues to go up, and I'm able to see that in the future I'll be able to do it full time. I'm going to keep doing it full time. But there is a teacher shortage. I suspect it wouldn't be too hard to find a teaching position if I did look for one. But I really am liking doing this. I get a larger audience too. Okay. What's my favorite non-gay color? Well, weirdly enough, Tiago, I know this is shocking to a homophobe like you, Tiago, but I love green. Green, green, green. Green is great. Okay. I think green, I just like the color. It's like the color of life, living, and things like that. I also like purple, dark purples. But green would definitely probably be my favorite color. Also black because I'm an emo. Okay, because I'm a goth. Let's see here. So folks, I will did I miss any here? I did. Okay. Does he watch your streams? Okay. So Alyssa, for those that have been in here for a while, there was a few days ago where the person I'm dating came into chat and was mad at me for something. I don't know if anyone noticed it. But this individual came in because he didn't realize I was streaming. And so he kind of got after me for not talking to him. But yes, this person has been in stream previously. I don't know if they're in stream now, but they have been in previously. Okay. Okay. Those are good questions. Do I teach any prehistory? Yes, I have taught prehistory. I also really like prehistory. Okay. Um, um, I have taught prehistory. I like teaching about early civilization and things like that. So I do like prehistory a lot because I also have a background in anthropology. Okay. Yeah, Fidel Castro definitely was definitely a dictator, Alan. And yeah, he's super interesting. And Alan, we're going to be doing a live stream on him very soon. Okay. Who's the hottest dictator? Oh, that's a good question there, Meowzord. Oh, that's the problem, though, is most dictators are pretty repellent to the eye. Oh, let's put it that way. Okay, I'll show you a picture, folks. Now, again, not saying I like this guy, but have you ever seen an early picture of Stalin? I'll show you.
I've said this before, but if you ask someone, do you think all children should get free lunch at school?
Okay, young Stalin was quite the looker, okay? So let me show you a picture of him. Here is one. I'll put it up on the screen here. Okay, well, here we go. Maybe this will be better so you can see it better. Here is a picture of Stalin when he was younger. I mean, so that is, I think, that is a very attractive looking man. Now, again, I'm right, Matt. Again, not a fan of Stalin. Horrible human being. Please, I don't want this clipped. But I think early Stalin was pretty attractive. Okay. That is Stalin when he was younger. Okay. What else do we got here? Okay. Let me see here. I'm to make sure I'm not missing any here. Go up. Have I seen the movie Spontaneous? I have not. I'll have to look into that. Okay. What about this one? Are they someone we might know? I won't answer that, Mad Sci Guy. But I suspect you do not know. Okay. Thank you, Alan, for that. Please, any suggestions to grow the channel? Not the time, Alan. We're prying. Okay. Matt Meowzord, how are these? Now, these are the real questions, right? Okay. I think you did, Matt Sci Guy. Oh, yeah, I will say a young Castro is pretty good looking too. I got to admit. That's another good one. At this point, this is a good question, TJ. At this point, I have to ask how many gay folks are in the chat. Let's see, folks, how many gay folks are in the chat right now? Or let's expand it out. How many LGBTQ folks, if you're okay with identifying yourselves? Because I don't actually know. Okay, you know what, Alyssa? Let's look up a young a Castro. You're right, SoCal. A young Napoleon wasn't bad either. Young Castro. Oh my God! Yeah, I forgot about how attractive Castro used to be. Aloe, good choice there. Being your favorite dictator. Hey, pizza. There's one. Okay, there's a young Castro. Yeah, pretty okay. Admittedly. I got you, Mithril. Oh, I don't want that crap. Just let's see the picture so I can get off on it. Okay, there it is. There's a young Castro. Very attractive. I could fix him, Alyssa, right? Trump failed. Bye. Fantastic. Okay, straight. Okay. Good. So we got a whole bunch of people here. This is good. A too gay to function. Poll. Yeah, let's do a poll. I'm going to quickly do a poll. Sexuality, question mark. Okay. Add options. So straight, gay, it's gay/lesbian. Let's put it that way. I'm going to make someone mad if I don't include everything here. Okay. Trans, pan, Jesus. Okay. Let's just do gay, lesbian/bi. Because I can't add any more options. So straight, I know I'm not including some, forgive me, but there you go. What's your sexuality? Okay. Okay. Are you straight, gay, lesbian, bi, trans? There should be a third option there. Okay. All right. Let's see here. These questions are good. Okay, here, excellent, TJ. Okay. Napoleon wasn't bad looking either. That is very true. Okay. Fabrizio from Titanic, right? Okay, if I were to go on a archaeology dig, where would I go? Ooh, Drusilla. Oh, that's a good question. I really like Egypt. I also really like Turkey. What is the name of that one place in Turkey? Oh my God, I can't remember. It's a really interesting archaeological site. Okay. So 62% of the folks in here are straight. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point, Pete. I should have done that. I should have done that because I couldn't include all the options. So I guess, yeah, put gay, straight, gay, lesbian, bi if you're any of those. Okay, I know that might mess it up now. Straight, demisexual, fantastic. Mellow. Thank you. Gobliki Tepe. I love Gobliki Tepe. I would love to go there. Such a weird site, like in a good way. So interesting. Okay. Pansexual, we got a lot good. We got so we're 62% straight. Fantastic. That means we are at a rate of percentage. So we do have a slightly disproportionate number of LGBTQ folks, but still, obviously, mainly straight folks. But 38% is still disproportionate to the population, so that's good. That's a good sign. Okay. That is true, Matt Seig. I see. This is why I shouldn't have phrased it that way, because there are also people who are curious. Meowzord. If you marry into a royal family throughout history, which family would you marry into? Ooh, that's a hard one there, Meowzord. Probably the Tokugawa family from Japan, just because they're badass. I mean, they're brutal, but Tokugawa Ieyasu, who united Japan, super interesting family there. I would probably marry into the Tokugawa clan. I do have an interest in archaeological studies, very much so. I've actually been on archaeological digs before, yeah. Okay, there's so many questions here. All right. That's also only 13 votes. Oh, I see. We're up to only 57% straight. Okay. I love Minuteman. Drusilla Minuteman, I love. Great creator. I highly recommend everyone look him up. He's an archaeologist who dismantles a lot of fake things about archaeology and also does great videos. He actually I actually live near one of the UNESCO sites in Ohio. It's called the Newark Earthworks. And I go there often. It is so cool. And he's gone there. Minuteman has gone there. Really good, brilliant creator there. Okay. Okay. They totally Meowser. Japan does have the best flags. Okay. All right. So let me see here. You are also gay. Hey, Tiago, join. One of us. One of us. Okay. Yeah. Snake Mound is amazing, Meowzorda. And folks, like, I recommend people do go to Ohio and see these things. Like, people don't even know they're there. A lot of people don't understand that we have a UNESCO World Heritage Site here in Ohio. Beautiful. The Mound City. We got not Mound City, but the Serpent Mound. Let me show you a picture, folks. This is in Ohio, made by the natives. Okay. We also have a site that aligns with the cosmos. Okay. It was set up to align with the cosmos. So like the moon, see that? It's a giant snake mound. It's beautiful. You can go see it. Very cool stuff. Yeah, look at this. Made by Native Americans. Okay. We got a lot of really cool mounds and stuff here. Yeah, we got some mounds here. Let me tell you. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we hear. Okay. That's a good question. If you could combine multiple aspects of multiple politicians to create your perfect one, what would they look like? So I would have someone with Lincoln's brilliance, legal brilliance, and things like that, with Zoran's charisma and policies, okay, and FDR's aggression. Let's put it that way, okay. If we had someone who was a mix of FDR, Zoran Mamdani, and Lincoln, that would be fantastic. Yeah, Mithril, how dare you? Yes, the gay man talks about the snake, right? Okay, so and handsomeness, yeah, yeah, Zoran's also very handsome. Okay, Tiago, there's a lot of Viking stuff dug up around here. Yeah, Drusilla, I would also love to go to Scandinavia and do one of those things. Okay, wow, no women, Alyssa. Okay, how about this? I could easily replace FDR, or not FDR, but yeah, FDR, for the strength of Elizabeth. Absolutely. So I could replace several people with FDR. So if we had Elizabeth's strength, that'd be fine. I'd be fine with that. Okay. Yeah, I agree. That's a good note too. I could also replace, if we wanted a good order, we could have Obama in there too. It's okay, Pete. So I'm okay with it. Okay. Any other questions here? Or even Boudica would be pretty badass too. To have someone who had the spirit of Boudica. Okay. Okay. TJ, good question. A lot of folks, please join our Discord. I actually am very open about how much I'm making on the Discord. So if you go in there, you can see I even posted what my first paycheck was. But TJ, I hope this isn't an intrusive question, but how much do you make per 1,000 views? I was planning to start making political content, so I'm wondering how YouTube suppression affects that. So TJ, you don't make much at all for 1,000 views. You just don't. I can tell you this. I have about 8,000, almost 8,300 subscribers. But TJ, over time you build it up. And I got lucky because one of the first videos I posted was with my dad, and that spiked my views tremendously. But for the first month that I did this, I've only been doing this for like almost 2.5 months now, not very long. So for my first month and a few days, the first check I got was about $1,000. It was like $1,020. Now that sounds like a lot, but of course, if you do that 12 months a year, that's what 13,000 a year. So I'm trying to build it up, but yeah, that is yeah, okay. So but TJ, if you do get like a video that it goes viral, then it'll yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, it does. I got very lucky Trump failed because I got monetized after like my second video, or my second video, because it got so popular. Like it just blew up. I woke up one morning and suddenly I was monetized and had a ton of subscribers. It was sort of a luck thing. But for most people it takes longer than that. Like I said, I got lucky, but because the YouTube algorithm is trash. But it will but if you do it sustained over time, you will eventually meet that mark. Okay. Guess your age. Ooh, Matt Sci guy. Matt Sci guy. Oh, 36. Matt Sci guy. Is that about right? Matt Sci guy. Is that right? Okay. Did I offend you? I hope not. Okay. Mello, tier list of current politicians in terms of attractiveness, or on a more serious note in general, based off their ideological policies. Okay, so I'm gonna try and play to the audience here a bit, in that I'll pretend that I'm straight or that I'm bi. I think AOC is probably top tier attractive. So is Zorhan Mamdani. Well, there you go, Matt Sci guy. Okay. I will say, you're all gonna hate me for this. Biden in his younger days was kind of attractive, and Meowzord. A lot of that Meowzord is super chats, but also a lot of it is monetization. So I get a lot of it. Uh, a lot of it's both. Yeah, it's both. So those super chats have absolutely helped. I think I've probably made more from super chats and from interactions on live stream than I have from monetization, but about half of it is through monetization. Okay, here we go. Mello, I think that'll take too long here, Mello. The tier list here, but there are some. Who else is some other really attractive politicians? Yeah, Rashida Tlaib also. Summer Lee, okay. Miller, Hegseth Patel, yeah. Yeah, okay. Brains or brawn? Well, sorry, I'm gonna go back here, folks. I'm not gonna. How about this, Mello? I will do a live stream where we do a tier list sometime. Okay. Kat, yes, Kat. Abu Ghazala is beautiful. Okay. Let me see here. We'll do that. We'll do a tier list on politicians sometime. Okay, I'm missing some folks' questions here. Brains or brawn? Oh, I'm sorry, Alan. What's something that you feel is important that isn't taught in schools? Well, Alan, several things. There's a lot of things I comment on. Sex ed is one of the big ones. It is not done well enough. I think we need to be able to have open and honest conversations about sex with teenagers. In America, because of puritanical things, we don't. We're always very worried about offending someone or offending a parent. Um, we could also something else that should be taught about more is campaign corruption, is political corruption, which is not often talked about in government classes. I would talk about it, but I wouldn't write anything down, so that if anyone got mad at me for doing that, I would basically, most of the time my students wouldn't tell anyone about it because they were very appreciative of it. But also talking about forms of resistance, because in a democratic society, there are ways that citizens need to know how to resist, because it's a democracy, right? You need to be able to use the power of the people. So those are some things. Okay, yeah, we're at 53% straight now. Okay. Okay. Brains or brawn? I gotta tell you, that's a brains or brawn. Both. I just can't help and say it, folks. I'm sorry, both. The one can overrule the other, unfortunately, because I am only human, right? Uh, kill fuck Mary, right? Okay, Robert, maybe we could do that. We could do that, right? Okay. Though maybe not the kill part, because I don't want to be fed posting, but okay. Okay. What am I missing here? Am I missing any questions? Oh, why? I need to put my face back up. I just realized I'm still. Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, Jasmine Crockett. That's another good one. Am I missing any questions here? I don't think I'm missing any. I don't think I missed. Did I miss anyone's question? Bye-bye, pizza. Fair. Okay, fair, right? Did I miss anyone's question? I just want to make sure. I'm going to ask you all something. Oh, absolutely, Alan. But you can kind of get around that as a teacher. The idea that history is whitewashed. Yes. Um, it was easy for me to get around that. The curriculum occasionally would protect me in that way. Sorry, folks, they're coming in so quickly. I'm having trouble. See above. What am I? Am I missing anything here? I don't see any new questions. Am I blind? You guys are all now talking about who's most attractive and stuff. Okay. Alan got ignored. Forgive me. Let me see here. Alan. Meowzord asked a question. All right. Okay. Meowzord. That's all super chats. I think I answered that one. Who's cat? And see. Meowzord. Yeah, okay, God. Yeah, Alyssa, I get it. John Thune, yeah. I don't see the question, Meowzord. I apologize. I can't find whatever question you asked there. Maybe ask it again. There's so many questions. Maybe it is blocking the word. Maybe rephrase it. Oh, that's a good one, Meowzord. Okay. Thank you, Meowzord. Favorite medieval torture device method or worst death in history? Okay. So has anyone seen a Game of Thrones? Because some of the things in there are actually things that were done. I think it was Genghis Khan who would actually pour molten gold down people's throats and kill them that way, which is pretty horrific. There's also, if anyone's ever heard of the screaming bull, I'll show you a picture. Hopefully, I'll try to find an appropriate picture. The brazen bull, not the screaming bull. So, this is I'll show you here. This is the brazen bull. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, the brazen bull was a bull, okay, that was bronze. And, this is what they would do is they would put someone inside of it, and there was a hole on the bull's mouth, and then they would heat it up slowly with a fire, and the person would slowly, burn alive. Drusilla, I'm not sure. Maybe they didn't use gold. I have to go back and look, but pouring molten metal down someone's throat is kind of horrific. Yeah, right? And then you'll notice that because of the hole on the bowl, it would sound as the person was screaming, it would sound like the bowl was making noises. That was a pretty horrific way to go. Okay, I got to tell you. The Vikings did something else here. The Vikings did, though it's kind of debated whether there you go, Meowzord, a blood eagle. That's what I'm thinking. This is there's not as much historical evidence on this one. It might have been sort of invented to be frightening by Christians, but it's still pretty brutal. And there are lots of other things I could think of, I'm sure. Being buried alive, I think, is a classic. Okay. All right. So, I'm trying to find someone that would be appropriate. Oh, I guess I'm showing it anyway. The idea here would be, you would basically cut open. Okay, this is gross. cut open someone's back, pull up their ribs, and then take out their lungs and kind of splay them open like wings. Pretty bad. Yeah, the Vikings were always behaving perfectly. Hey, Drizella, I love the Vikings, so you don't have to convince me, okay? All right, so that was a pretty awful thing. I love Midsommar, Louise. Very disturbing. Yeah, Louise, I believe that's it. That is a blood eagle. That's what they did there, I believe was a blood eagle in Midsommar. Yeah, not great. So, okay. I'll take a look at that. Give me a second here. Matt Zyga. My God, guys, you all are a bunch of degenerates. You know that? You're a bunch like you don't talk this much during like the informative parts of the stream, but now of course now all the chats are streaming in as soon as you can ask these questions. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, Tiago, I'll take a look at that too. Okay, guys. Tiago, stop typing in all caps. I can see all your things. So those are some pretty bad ways of dying. When I was in Germany, I went to I know Matt Saiga. Okay, yeah, you know. So when I went to Germany, there's actually museums in Germany, where it's literally torture museums. You can go in there and see all the torture devices that were used in the medieval period. Pretty horrific. Okay, let me take a look at those things you asked me. Any other questions before I do that? Any other questions? Oh my God, guys, our poll now has only 47% straight. Woo! We're no longer a minority, LGBTQ folks. Okay, we're no longer a minority. Okay. Okay. It will be Matt Saigai. I'm just making sure there's no questions left here. Hello, AMA Gaming. Hello. Okay. That's a good question, Matt Saigai. Okay, clever. All right. Let me just double check. I know, right? They're trying to replace us straight whites. Exactly. Yeah, you're damn right we are. You're damn right we are, Alan. Yeah. You're gonna live in a what is it? A homoocracy? I don't know what's the phrase. Government run by gays. Okay, by LGBTQ folks. Okay. All right. No questions. Perfect. Okay. So there we go. Okay, Meowsord, you got me there. Would I rather be in the Dahmer Party or the Franklin's Lost Expedition? Meowsord, Dahmer Party, definitely. I've always wanted to taste. You know what? Let's not go there. I'd be curious. Let's just put it this way. I'd be curious about the flavor of certain things. No. Well, actually, no. I would actually rather be in the Dahmer Party because some of them survived. I'm pretty sure no one from the Franklin expedition survived, right? Okay. Surfing or SoCal Foodie? Surfing or what's that other little symbol there? Oh, surfing or skiing? Probably skiing. I've skied before. I've never surfed. It's not that I don't like the ocean, but how do I say this? Has everyone's ever heard of thalassophobia? I got a little bit of that going on. It's like the fear of the deep ocean. Like there's just too much shit in the ocean, like too many scary things in the ocean. So yeah, it gives me anxiety. It does, Meowsord. I got to admit. I know it's irrational. Yeah, Louise. So I'm not necessarily. I'm always worried. Yeah, me too, Alan. I don't want to go like farther out than like waist level into the ocean. Just because I'm always like looking around, I'm like, is there going to be a dark shadow coming out of the depths to get me? I know it's irrational, but yeah. Okay. All right. Did I watch the Zodiac movie? Yes, I actually like the Zodiac movie. The Zodiac movie is really good. From the Zodiac Killer. Don't think you should surf on the deep ocean. Yeah. No, but Drusilla, it's like the idea, Drusilla, that like anything could come out of the deep ocean and eat me, or like even if it touches me, I don't want it to touch me. Like if there were a giant squid like floating around down there, I would rather not deal with it. Okay, like it can stay in the depths of the ocean. I love animals. I just want them. I just don't want to be interacting with them. Uh, yeah, they can still get you, Louise. Don't remind me, Louise. I don't need that reminder. I know they can still get me in the foot of water, but I am able mentally to deal with it in if there's like a foot of water, because then at least I can see what's around me. Okay. Okay. Um, so Freddy or Jason? Oh my God, you guys have good questions. Jason. Well, actually, can I amend that and say Michael Myers? I think I prefer Michael Myers to either of those. Um, um, did I miss anything here, folks? Freddy or Jason? Did I read endurance? Oh yeah, I'm fine with swimming in lakes, Alan. I don't need to worry about like if I'm in the Great Lakes, I can swim as much as I want. I know there's nothing in there that's gonna kill me or attack me. Okay. I know you're right, Drusilla. I admit this is utterly irrational. Okay, it is something I am working on. I am working on. Yes, cows kill more people than sharks. It is so statistically insignificant the number of people that get eaten by sharks or attacked by some animal. It is irrational. I acknowledge. Okay. Michael Myers or the black phone guy? The black phone guy. Who's that? Uh, I Michael Myers probably. Won't catch you in a lake or a river, Alyssa. That's fair. That's fair. Um, uh, I have not seen Black Phone, Matt. So I'll take a look into. I love horror films. As a matter of fact, folks, I love horror films so much that when I was in graduate school, I taught an undergraduate course to freshmen on horror movies. Because I love horror films. Maybe we can do a horror film night or something on Discord. Please join our Discord. Okay. Um, oh, I get it, SoCal. Jellyfish scare me. Okay, because they will sting the shit out of you and kill you. All right, guys. I don't think I see any more questions here. Am I missing anything? No. Okay. So I'm gonna go. I know as people sent. I love the Glorious Bastards, Matt Saigai. Okay, I'm gonna go to Discord because Matt Saigai and Tiago sent some torture devices for us to look at. God help us. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the Inquisition, pretty horrific thing. Thank you, Trump Fail, by the way, for sending those reactions. Oh, here we go. Okay, Tiago. Let's see what Tiago has for us here. Oh, okay. So Tiago. Oh my God, Tiago. I know what these are. Now, Tiago, let me explain it so that we don't get demonetized. Okay. You did it? Okay, I got you, TJ. I will put a new Discord link here. So folks, I'm gonna put a new Discord link. This should get you in there. Sometimes it does get disconnected here. So this is in both of them. Paste. There we go. Okay, so there's the Discord link. Please go and join our Discord. So this thing here, all right. Now, How do I phrase this, folks? The one on the top, okay, I'm not quite sure about the one on the bottom, I can guess, but the one on the top was an object that could be inserted inside of someone's excretory organ on your backside and then slowly opened up to that size that you see there. I think you can guess what I'm saying. That was another pretty horrific torture method. The one on the bottom, I'm not sure what that is, Tiago. Maybe you can tell me. That might be a genital thing. I'm not sure. Okay, so that would be one of them. Let me see here. Yeah. Yeah, the rat fire bucket. Oh my God. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty bad one. Yeah, that's a very bad one. As a gay man, I'm like, that doesn't sound bad at all. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, joking. That is horrific. Okay. Let me see here. Matt Sai guy here. Let's see what Matt Sai guy sent. Oops. Okay. What is this one? Worried about yes, Philomena Kunk. I love Philomena Kunk. Let's watch this one. Okay. No, I'm just joking, folks. Just joking. Yeah, scaphism is horrible. So let me tell you, folks, real fast. Let me tell you about one more torture method. So scaphism being eaten alive, sometimes by insects, sometimes by rats. The Romans had a very peculiar execution method. So they would take someone and put them into a bag, a canvas bag. And then into that bag with that person, they would put a poisonous snake, a monkey, and a dog. And they would then throw that person in the bag with the snake, monkey, and dog into a river. Now, what would happen, you think? I'm sorry, Matt Sai guy. That's the best I could do there. I agree, Alan. What do you think the snake, dog, and monkey would start doing as they feel they're drowning? They'd get kind of aggressive, don't you think? Okay. So that's a very interesting execution method, throwing someone into with a snake, monkey, and dog. I guess you can hope those three animals kill each other before they go after you. Okay. Let's watch this real fast. This is what Matt Saigai sent me.
In the 1990s,
this is Philomena Kunk, who's really funny. It does, Meowzor, but that's like classically Roman. Like, and I agree, Alan, being burned alive is pretty horrific, which is why I think that the bronze bull, the brazen bull was pretty bad. Okay. Also, Chinese water torture is pretty bad too. It's kind of a death by psychological torture. Okay, let's see what this is.
7 election. Why do you think more?
Oh, it's not.
People voted for Tony
I'm
Blair.
Start it over here if I can.
An Oasis. What was the Soviet Onion?
I
think you're labouring under a misapprehension, and you probably mean the Soviet Union.
No, it's Onion. I saw it on a bit of paper earlier. How did being shot in the head affect Lincoln's ability to lead?
Well, it ended it because he died.
Would getting shot in the eye actually hurt? Because it's just a sort of water bank.
I love Philomena Kunk. I recommend you all watch
the Cuban Missile Crisis. Which was more dangerous, the cubes or the missiles? Why don't bicycles have toilets? You know, it would save you having to get off. So, hang on, if I think therefore I am, what about other people? Do they think therefore they am?
That's good. Philomena Kunk's very funny. What's the name of her show again? It's very funny, okay? Thank you, Matt Saigai, for that. Okay, so okay. All right, guys. So yeah, and by the way, someone said crucifixion. Now, here's the interesting thing about crucifixion, right? Oh yeah, vexed, yeah. The Japanese would basically boil people alive. So one other thing here too. Crucifixion is super interesting. A lot of people don't understand how it worked. I mean, why would you? Who would be a lunatic enough to look into this? I know I would. So what crucifixion did is it actually suffocated you to death. It was not. It wasn't like bleeding to death. It was suffocation. So when the Romans did crucifixion, you would be put up on this cross. Let me show you an image here. I'll make it appropriate because I can just show a picture of Jesus. Okay. So, which, by the way, don't you think it's kind of funny how, like, the image, correct, Victoria, the image of Jesus on the cross, which is like that the Catholics especially use, the crucifix, is like a scene of someone being tortured. And like we're okay with kids seeing that and stuff. It's just an interesting thing to think about. So here we have Jesus. And you'll notice down here, they don't actually, oh, this is bad. So this is a really bad image. Oh, Matt Saiga, we'll do it again real fast, but let me just say this real fast. So you see here, first of all, this is not, okay, this is like casual revolt after dark, even though it's not after dark, okay? For those watching, I promise you I'm not normally talking about torture methods. So you'll notice in this image here, they have the, this is not how they would do it. First of all, you can't put nails through a middle of a hand. This is, that would tear pretty quickly. Same thing with the feet. Okay. You would have to, it'd be in the wrist. Regardless, normally they don't even show it on here. There'd be a little platform down here, a tiny little wooden platform. And when you're hanging off of a cross like this, it crushes your diaphragm, which is what you need to do in order to breathe. The diaphragm allows your lungs to kind of expand and, okay. But down here, this little platform would allow you to put your feet on the platform and kind of lift yourself up, okay, to keep your lungs open, to keep your diaphragm flexed. And so you would be stuck in this constant struggle to keep your body upright so that you wouldn't suffocate to death. And eventually, it's a very horrific way to go. Eventually, you would not be able to do that anymore because you'd get tired and then you would suffocate. Pretty horrific. But that is how crucifixion works. It is suffocation that kills you. Not to disturb anyone out there, but that is the truth, okay? And a lot of, yeah, Alyssa, so they did lie. There are a lot of, there is a lot of misinterpretations. Hey, J-Mac, welcome. Yes, J-Mac, please ignore me. Literally, J-Mac, Jesus Christ. Oh, J-Mac, we are doing a sort of, we got enough super chats today to ask personal questions and ask random questions, so that's what we're doing. And of course, all the degenerates here in chat wanted to hear about different execution methods. So I'm talking about crucifixion. So that's what we're doing, J-Mac, okay? So that is crucifixion, okay? I know, J-Mac, okay? Anyway, all right. Any other questions here, folks? Yeah, no, it's okay, Meowsar. I mean, what else is new, Meowsar? You're always derailing everyone. Okay. So, any other questions here, folks? Okay. Meowsar, but I love it, Meowsar. I love you, Meowsar. Don't worry. Yeah, bye-bye methods. That's the way to do it. Okay. So that is how crucifixion would kill you. Now, we'll go back to the beginning of what Matt Saigai sent real fast, because apparently we missed it.
Game.
Then I go back to my face screen so it doesn't show Matt Saigai again here. Okay, so we'll just watch the beginning. And there's no way to reset it, which is annoying. I hate Instagram for that. All right. Oh, and it's
worried about getting guillotined. In the 1997 election.
Okay, so I'm going to do it again because it's automatically muted at the beginning.
Elon Musk should be worried about getting guillotined.
Should Elon Musk be worried about being guillotined?
In the 1997 election, why do you think more people voted for Tony Blair than Oasis? What was the Soviet Union?
I think you're leaving under a misapprehension.
So there we go. That was the beginning there, okay, about the that, okay? So anyway. All right, guys. All right. How's everyone doing out there? I feel like I've been violated in multiple ways. Just kidding, okay? But all right. So you got to ask your degenerate questions there, and we got 52% of people now saying they're straight. Okay, which is unfortunate. I'm sorry, our community is just too straight. Okay. Oh, I know. I'm not going to get off. Don't worry. Yeah, we could do Tiago. We could do your song, Tiago. Let me open that up. We'll listen to Tiago's song now. If I can find it here. Where'd you send it, Tiago? You sent it in my personal. Here we go. I think this is the right one. We'll watch this. Okay. So this is okay. Ciseus Palestina. Okay, it's about Palestine. All right. Let's watch this. There's Tiago, who kind of looks like a young Joseph Stalin.
E é sobre aquele momento em que nós somos pequenos e percebemos que afinal o mundo não é perfeito e que há muitas coisas. E na altura em que eu passei por isso, queria.
Meowslord, he's not gonna get off. He's not going to get off because we're straight. Meowslord, you always make me laugh. J-Mac, exactly. Young Joseph Stalin. That's a hell of a compliment, right, J-Mac? J-Mac, I was asked earlier, who is the most attractive dictator? And I couldn't help but say young Joseph Stalin. And then Alan reminded me of young Fidel Castro. No, Alyssa did. Okay. Okay.
Queria muito voltar àquele momento de ser criança outra vez.
Right.
Portanto, é sobre isso e eu também gostava de dedicar a todas as crianças.
Hey, what is this? What is he? What is this? What is he speaking? This is like, I don't know what this language is. It is in English, so it's not a real language. Just kidding, Tiago. Let me see. The messages I wrote you, Tiago. Let me see. Tiago, stop writing in all caps. I swear on my life, Tiago. I'm going to lose my mind. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. It's about a moment when you are kids and understand that the world is not perfect and there are bad things and the child is talking to an adult. Okay. Okay. So it's that overall. And the second meaning of the song is a story that I thought to myself: an Israeli soldier killed a Palestinian child and he just can't live with it. And he has this dream where the child talks to him, asking him to take her to a better place, to a clean horizon. Oh my, okay. Interesting. Okay, so we'll watch.
Vem comigo agora em busca de céus azuis.
How dare you, J-Mac?
Aqui nesta hora a lua já foi embora. Dá-me caminho certo. Cego teu velho mapa, marca a cruz do tesouro, onde estão os nossos sonhos.
Oh, don't worry. I could actually, right, I could, if there are auto-generated things. I will say, Tiago, don't worry. So I know Tiago knows that I'm joking about criticizing him speaking his native language. Okay, I'm just trying to be an asshole. You all know Americans, unfortunately, are very ignorant when it comes to other languages. A lot of us. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of Americans who do speak multiple languages, but okay. All right. Oh, there are no subtitles attached to it. Thank you, Tiago. So Tiago is going to post the lyrics here. I can't show the Discord page, Tiago, for doxing reasons, but if you post them in chat, that's perfect. I know, Tiago. I mean, I can copy and paste it. I'll just copy and paste it over. Okay, here we go. These are the lyrics to the song. I'll post it in the chat here. Paste, send. There we go. If it lets me send it, for some reason it's not. I'll try this again. I'll send it here. Oh. 1 second, folks. Yeah, I can't either, Tiago. It's too, here. We'll do it this way. So I'll put the first part up here. Yeah. Okay. Okay, here we go. So there's the first part. Nope, still. There we go. Okay. There's the first part. I'll keep playing it. It does, Matt Saigai.
Vamos procurar em cada canto ou esquina por tudo que se perdeu, por tudo que o sonho nos deu. Menti, volta a criar. Dá-me asas para voar. Sonho com o dia em que possa eu voltar.
Oh, thank you, Tiago. That's perfect.
E o mundo vai mudar. Uma pedra, pão, a tarde.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm having trouble sending the rest of it here in chat for some reason. It is on our Discord in the chat if you want to see what Tiago here is saying. There we go. All right.
Vamos procurar o horizonte limpo, o sol quente da esperança, noite sem trovoada.
You have a very nice voice, Tiago, by the way.
E os sonhos da criança.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Tiago, for that. Lovely. Very lovely. Oh, I didn't even notice, Tiago. I mean, I was too busy listening to you, but yeah. By the way, love your Converse there, Tiago. Great Converse you got there. And I love the keffiyeh you're wearing. Slay, Tiago. Absolutely. Okay. Okay, guys. Let me see what else we got in here. Let's just relax for a few minutes. Let's just keep chatting. I'm enjoying the chatting. I'm enjoying. Yeah, totally, Malzord. Okay. So how's everyone doing out there? Have they announced anything more about this shooting? Okay. Have they announced anything more about the shooting? I know I don't want to darken the mood here, but I mean, but I don't even want to look. Like, if I look, I know it's going to ruin my mood. Are you asking that, Matt Saigai, to try and figure out who I'm dating and to see if they're on Discord? You're asking about Glass? No, I'm not dating Glass. I'm not sure. Glass talks a lot on Discord. I don't think Glass ever really comes into live stream. Ooh, you're making a label for cookie butter? That sounds amazing, Yalzord. You should send me some of them cookies. By the way, Tiago, is there a way you can send us a link to purchasing your music and stuff so we can get some advertising out there for you? because I just to help promote your brand here, Tiago. That'd be good, Tiago. For your sake, etc. Okay, I did. Matt's like, I figured out what you were looking for there. Okay. Gotcha. There you go. Tiago says his music is online on Spotify and YouTube. For anyone interested out there, okay. There we go. Thank you, Tiago. You can put it in the chat or something on YouTube. That'd be great. All right, folks. So we still got some time here. We got 6 minutes. Yeah, no, Glass is not. Glass is not. I don't even know if who I'm dating is in the Discord. I'm being dead honest with you. I don't know if they are. I have never seen. They've never. If they are, they've never even said anything in there. All right. So, how many more super chats for the late night stream? Right now, I believe we need 4. 4 more. Okay. Also, folks. What was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought. Oh. I'll be streaming tomorrow. I might not stream every day this weekend. I might have some things I have to do. Just to warn you there. I'm not quite sure yet, but just a note. Okay, I might not be doing stuff. I might not be streaming on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I might not be. It depends. Okay. So, Cal, to find late night stream. Well, I would say I know your Pacific time over there, SoCal. It could be, but I might still be doing it, Mad Saga, but I'm not quite sure yet. I might need to do some stuff with my family. But the other thing is, I know, Alyssa, I'm sorry. I know. I apologize, Alyssa, but yeah, I still might be, but it depends. Okay. By the way, folks, we now have 48% of people are straight. 40% are LGB, I guess, and P, and then we got 4% trans. Okay. I do have a life. You're right. So, okay. Okay, Matt Sagai. You are my family, of course. Okay. Just to warn you all. Okay. I'm also worried to death that I get sick so easily, and there's like all this shit going around now because fall is coming, and I'm like worried that my twin sister came over a couple days ago and she was sick, and I'm like, am I going to get sick now too? I'm like waiting for it. But anyway, that's true. You got, yeah, guys, go, yeah, do your own little stream and stuff. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a good point, King. I'm sorry, I never answered SoCal's question. Probably like 8 or 9 Eastern time would be when I do it, if I stream later tonight. But again, I need 4 more super chats for that. Okay. But I could come on again later, if anyone's interested in that. Okay. Anything else there? Okay. I'm not going to get off yet. Don't worry. But I could find something to talk about. Ooh. Yeah, because we can't have nice things, Alyssa. We can't have a. Yeah, great job, Meowsor. Meowsor did complete the Wordle in 2 guesses. Amazing. Well done. Miro, thank you, Miro. Thank you for the $5 super chat there. Okay, we just need 3 more, folks. Thank you, Miro, for that. And the little heart. Thank you, Miro. Yeah. So we can do that. Oh my God. Yeah, you missed it, Alyssa. That's actually the second one. Okay. Geez, guys, you get 2 more. I will do a late night stream there today. So if anyone is interested, we just get 2 more. Okay. So has anyone ever heard of I'm just trying to think of something off the top of my head that you all might find interesting. Oh, here we go. Fritz Haber. Who here has ever heard of Fritz Haber? Anyone ever heard of Fritz Haber? I can guarantee you probably a lot of Americans haven't heard of Fritz Haber. He was a German scientist, okay? And a German scientist, and Fritz Haber was like a chemical engineer slash it's quick. Yeah, okay. So what's quick? Did I miss something? I know that is true. So I would get sick so often when I work. Teachers are like fall down like flies. At the same time, I suspect that we also have very good immune systems because we are around children so much. Okay, guys. So Fritz Haber, guys, thank you, Tiago. Work. I'm sick. I need company. Okay, one more. If we get one more, I will stream later tonight. Okay. So Fritz Haber, he invented. He was a chemist, a German chemist, and he invented nitrogen fixation, which allowed, which was a way to basically make soil much more productive for agriculture. And he started something called the Green Revolution, which allowed people to basically produce a lot more crops all around the world. And he is one of the people that has been is viewed as one of the main reasons why we now have so many people on the planet. His discovery allowed so many people to be alive today. Now then, here's the other thing about Fritz Haber. Fritz Haber invented poison gas to be used in World War I. Okay, he invented gas weapons that were used in the battlefields of World War I, mustard gas, chlorine gas, and things like that. Okay. And then what are you talking about, Meowzard? The Green Revolution, and then what? What do you mean, Meowzard? Am I missing something here? Okay. Anyway, tell me. Okay. And he invented these. Then he also invented these poison gases. Okay. And here's the thing about him. Okay. He was extreme. Oh my God, we're back to 48% straight. Okay. He ended up, he was a German nationalist. He was very pro Germany. He never expressed sadness for producing these weapons of war. If anyone's ever seen Wonder Woman, the movie, there's a character in there that's sort of based off of him. And the funny thing is, folks, is later in life, he got awarded a Nobel Prize for his invention of the nitrogen fixation process, which allowed many more humans to exist on the Earth, and also allowed some less developed countries to produce a lot more agriculture, feed themselves better without more fields. But at the same time, he is also one of the inventors of chemical weapons. I know, Matt Saigai. I totally agree. Don't watch Wonder Woman because the woman who plays Wonder Woman is very pro-Israel. Yeah, we did, King Alo. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Victoria, All Quiet on the Western Front. Fantastic book. Fantastic movie too. Okay. He won a Nobel Peace Prize, and it's sort of been debated to this day. Like, how do we feel about that? Right? Like, pretty evil. Inventing these chemicals at the same time, and knowing that they're going to be used on people. And some of the precursors. And by the way, here's another thing. He was Jewish. And some of the things that he invented ended up being used as Cyclone B, the gases that were used in the death camps. And like I said, he was a German nationalist and stuff. And it's an interesting question historically about, like, how do you balance out someone's accomplishments? Because it is likely he actually allowed more people to live than his inventions ended up killing. But it's like, you see what I mean? So if anyone's interested, look up Fritz Haber, because very interesting historical character. Okay. So folks, if we get one more super chat here, I'm going to be on for 2 more minutes. If we get one more super chat, I will come on later. All right. But yeah, we use chemical weapons, King Alo, Alan. We used Agent Orange, which was used to deforest the Vietnamese forest to expose positions for our bombers and troops and things like that. Yeah. Okay. And also we found out later, that it was a carcinogen, and a lot of our troops ended up getting cancer because of it, amongst other things. Okay. All right, guys. How about this? I'll come back on later. All right, I'll come back on later. You've done enough. I don't want to. You guys have gotten close enough. I don't give a shit. Okay. Oh, thank you, the Matt Sai guy. Thank you. Okay, well we got it anyway. Okay, I'm sorry, Matt Sai guy. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Matt Sai guy. I apologize. I did just say we'd do it anyway. But thank you, Matt Sai guy. Thank you anyway. Okay. Yeah, they are. Okay. So thank you guys. I will come back on later. All right, because of your generous contributions, we'll have a chill stream or something. And on that note, folks, I'm going to go because I am very hungry now. Thank you, Toya. Wow, thank you, Toya. Guys, you're so generous today. Thank you, really. And I'll come back on later. And on that note, folks, I'll probably come back on around 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll do more of a stream, okay? All right, guys. Love you all dearly. You all know what I'm going to say here. First of all, free Palestine. Free Palestine. Okay, free Palestine. Second of all, never stop resisting. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves, and that includes when you watch me. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I am a human being after all. Do not get caught in an information silo. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. Thirdly, here, we need major reforms in this country. Major reforms. Fascism thrives in an environment where people have lost faith in their democratic institutions, so they turn to more radical ends of the spectrum to get those needs met. We need major reforms in this country and everywhere else if you want to fight fascism. You can't stand in the center. If you stand in the center, the fascists will walk all over you. I can guarantee it. They'll walk all over you. You can't stand in the center. On the wall behind me is a sword. The name of that sword is Chainbreaker. Chainbreaker has been passed down in my family for many years, and it is rumored to have been responsible for the death of 7 slave owners. Why do I have it back there? To remind everyone that our ancestors made some major sacrifices, including even putting their lives on the line for some of the things we have today. We cannot let their sacrifice go to waste, folks. Please, please, please. Do not let their sacrifices go to waste. And always, always, always fight for a better future. And on that note, folks, I'll see you later tonight, okay? Thank you, everyone, for all your contributions. You wore me out, which is a good sign. And I'll see you later, all right?